Let's go. Let's get it together. Welcome to the Wildest Wake Up Show, and I'm your host, Sharon Bracy. And every single day we rebel against remedial rhetoric. But we open up the panel. We want you to have the conversation. We do not want an echo chamber here. Absolutely not. We want everybody to get to push out their thoughts. However, you cannot just go ahead and regurgitate information that you heard from somebody else. What's up, Zero Tolerance? Good day to you. Good day, Ebony. Yes, and just like that, when we say good day to you, make sure you say good day back because we can feel that great productive energy. Yes, indeed. I told y'all yesterday this shit was all about rebuilding LA. I see new videos of Gavin Newsom, goddammit. I see him. Hi, Miss Jennifer. Good day to you. What's up, young? I'm telling you, this was all a plot. I think they was using these natural disasters. They said, hey, let's turn a blind eye to it. And they let that bitch burn. Just like they was Usher. We should let it. There's something strange going on over there. That's one thing I do know. When I seen this video, I was like, Gavin Newsom, I knew it. You's nothing but a liar, a cheater, a deceiver. It looks a little strange to me. I think all the conspiracies is true. I think they just waited for a natural disaster to happen. And they just let that joint be. That's what I believe happened, to be honest with you. The video says it all. I don't know. Y'all want me to play before we get into today's topic? I don't know. It looked a little weird to me. Thank you, Young. I appreciate you, Young Riaz. The Drip King. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Make sure y'all hit that like button, that share, and most important, hit that notification bell. It really helps. We need y'all to hit that notification, like, share. Please hit the notification bell. You know we don't like to waste any time. We like to get right into the conversation. And what I was thinking about, lady, is do men deserve less? Since they all keep complaining, right? We have this problem between effort and complaint. And we see it time and time again. Men complaining that they do too much in a relationship. That they got to put their life on the line in a relationship. That if it wasn't for the men out here in these goddamn putting their life on the line in these relationships, it wouldn't work. In reality, in my opinion, I think both parties are protecting each other. I think the men definitely, majority of men will want to be able to protect their woman and their family. And guess what? The woman is shown for protecting their family as well. We know that for a fact. We just seen the video of what? A young lady running out to Gavin Newsom saying, hey, what are you going to do? I want to see you call the president. That's a form of protection. We just seen a video of a young lady is a content creator. Her name is Easy. She was literally running around her neighborhood, Dawn, with goddamn water hoses and bucket and trying to save literally the community. So this whole idea that men are the only one. Look at you looking all proud of that bread. What kind of bread is that, babe? Ooh, she out here baking, Dawn. She out here making her own sourdough bread from scratch. And she's over here cutting it up and making it look all pretty and everything. They be having like flower designs and petals on the goddamn sourdough bread. What's up, Giggles? She be really proud of her bread. You should see when she pulled that thing out the oven, it comes out right. Oh my God, Giggles. She is just like excited. Like, look at my sourdough bread. And we know for a fact that it is more closely that both parties are working with each other. It is not this whole idea that the men are just the majority of men are just taking over the relationships and they are the brains of the operation. They the money of the operation. They the inspiration of the operation. Giggle says she loves some sourdough, babe. Yeah, it is really good. What up, Silent? Bub, what it do? And it's just not like that. So my understanding, you know what? Let me write a poll. How about that? Do men deserve less from women? Let's start a poll. That should be interesting enough. Let me see. Let me just start this goddamn poll. Huh. Let's see what y'all think. Let's go. Let's keep getting those likes up. Let's keep getting those shares up. Let's get it together. Let's go. What up, 187? 187. Do men deserve less in relationships since they always complaining? They always complain how much they do. And now all these men need to pull back on what they should be doing in a relationship. All these men are saying, no, we should do less. What are we getting from a relationship in the first place? I even heard a man say he took all the things away from what men say they get from a relationship and said, what else do we get? He said, besides cooking, besides cleaning, besides companionship, besides vagina, besides all the things that women do for a man, you take all those things away, what do a man really get? I was just like, and I couldn't believe it. It was a group of men having this conversation, Robin M. 187, they need to find their nuts. I agree, 187. But this is what the man said, and it was a group. It was at least 9 other men on the panel. Not one man said anything. Well, you know, you just took you took at least majority of the attributes away. He literally said with a dead, he said, let me ask y'all a question. He said, so what do a woman give a man in a relationship? He was dead serious, babe. Dead serious. He said, so if you take away the vagina from a woman, you take away, we know what y'all women say, companionship. If you take away companionship from the relationship, and you take away the cooking and the cleaning from the relationship, what do a man actually get? I was like, holy shit. Let's make the bread, but we don't have flour. And all the men was like, yeah. Good day, Miss Jalen. Can you imagine we go to a car dealership and say, hey, listen, I understand how much you want for that car, but how about if you take away the wheels, the steering wheel, the gas, and the brake pedal, take out all the comfort of the seats and everything, what do I have left to pay for now? Huh? What do I have left now? I don't know if I should pay for this car anymore. I don't know. It's insane. Dina said, you take all those things away, you get a man, damn it. Oh, Dina. Oh, what Robin Up said, she said, Tastic said, women screwed him over since high school because of rejection. Ain't no way he said that for real, for real. Ain't no way Mr. GTD said that. Ain't no way. I have no idea, Robin, but a lot of men do complain and cry about what happened to them in high school. Hey, listen, if your head was bigger than your body in high school, don't be mad at the woman that was in high school that didn't choose your ass. Just because you was a little punk in high school and all the tough dudes that are now corny now, but they was lit back then, do not get mad today and say, look at me. I grew up. I glowed up. Look at me now. It sounds like a goddamn like a Jerry Springer episode. You remember when you used to tease me in high school and you used to call me the ugly duckling? Well, look at me now. That's what it sounds like to me. That's crazy. It is no way I could be that mad at something. Of something that happened to me in high school that I'm holding on at the age of 40. God damn it.
You don't stay mad at something that happened yesterday.
I don't say mad at things that happened yesterday?
Yeah.
I mean, as men, like, I don't know why men haven't learned that you have to move on. It be what up, EJ? It just be weird and crazy to me, though. It's just weird and crazy. I cannot imagine me just being mad at a woman, a young lady, a teenager that turned me down when I was only 16. And she said, Sharon, your hairline was, your teeth was too, you was too, whatever that two is, right? I was too skinny, too ugly, too short, too fat, too tall, too slanky, too awkward. Whatever that is that happened to me in high school, even though, I ain't gonna lie.
Has it ever happened? So can you
I ain't gonna lie. I've been a man for a very long time. Even when I was only 4'11", I was still the man. I ain't gonna lie. even as my man Shicey said, even when my clothes were too tight. Robin Epps said they got unresolved trauma. Oh my. Hold on. What's the time said? On a panel, they once said they made it big. They go back and try to smash the girl who rejected them. Revenge. Oh my God. That is insane. That's something that happened to you in high school holds on to you, and that you use that as a thought pattern. Like, oh, when I make it big, I'm gonna go back in time. That is wild. Like, why your motivation is not yourself to go ahead and just move forward with life and say, hey, this happened to me and I don't want it to happen again. And then you just move forward with that kind of reverence and that energy, that vigor. Not because you want to do it just simply to go backwards to say, hey, look at me now. No, that is crazy. That's a good observation. Peter said, but which one of them made it big though? So but that's another problem that a lot of rejects have. They always have this idea that one day.
I saw a lot of gym bros getting to become gym bros.
God damn, it's kind of wild. It is wild. It's crazy. It's kind of it's nasty work when you really think about it. It's crazy to me. And it's just it's an effort balance that is a problem, I believe, right? So some men, babe, they are you gonna okay? Go ahead. They feel like they are doing too much in relationships. But let's just be real. When you run in a relay race, right? If both of y'all are running, you win together. But if one of y'all stop, which is what the men are saying, we're gonna stop doing. We're gonna stop being providers and caretakers and protectors. We ain't gonna do that no more. And the other is just left doing laps around the track. Just exhausted and confused, like what is going on? This is what ladies are doing. They all keep on running around the track, and they get back to like, where the fuck were you? Where have you been all my life? You like my singing, baby? No. So what I'm saying is this: men often. They set very high expectations, but then complain when they have to meet them. It's like buying it's so weird. It's like buying a high maintenance car. Then complaining about the cost and the upkeep of it. You wanted the Lamborghini, sir. Guess what? You're going to have to fill that goddamn tank up. You're going to have to fill the tank up. I don't care how often you got to fill the tank. You wanted the goddamn Lamborghini. Do not complain about the insurance. Do not complain how expensive those brake pads are, which is the high heels shoes. Do not complain that you got to get it washed more often than not because you want it to look good, i.e. the dress. Don't complain that you got to put premium gas in it, meaning that you got to take that girl out to the most expensive restaurant. You wanted the Lamborghini. I like that, Black. It's insanity to me. You wanted the Lamborghini, sir. I think men often expect women to do the emotional heavy lifting. You understand? So they doing all this heavy lifting. They in the gym together and they just watching their partner do all the damn reps. And you know what the men doing? They got a Stanley Cup with a dyed red beer with a Stanley Cup drink out a straw. Sipping on a goddamn smoothie. God damn it. It's insanity. Stop sucking on a goddamn straw. It's supposed to be men. Drink out of a goddamn cup like a man's supposed to. That's the problem, Black. Majority of y'all don't have no muscles. Y'all don't walk. This is why I try to tell y'all, walk 15 minutes that way, then 15 minutes this way. Start with 2 push-ups a day. That would keep the estrogen away. That's why it's so weird that y'all keep saying that y'all are red pill, and the red pill is an estrogen pill. The red pill is a cholesterol pill. Leave it alone. Get yourself in order, sir. That's what I'm trying to explain to some of these men, Black. What up, Playboy? That's all I'm saying. It's just what I'm realizing. What up, Davey? What? Drink out of a vegetable metal can? The hell you talking about, Davey? I think also they complaining about effort in relationships. It often ignores like the quality, right? It's not about how much you do, but how meaningful it is. We got fast food, and then we got home cooked meals. So, less can be more when it's done right at the end of the day. So both of them gave you a meal. We got the fast food, we got the home cooked, but one has a quality towards it, which is the home cooked meal, and one has a quantity. You could just go out and pick whatever fast food you want, quick, fast, and hurry, 10-minute meal. Which one do you prefer? And I'm sorry to tell you, but a relationship with a good, solid woman is quality. That's good, young. What up, Crown Prince? I want to know, where am I getting this wrong at? That's what I want to know. Where am I getting it wrong at? I think relationships should be about mutual respect and effort, right? So when you dancing, both partners if they don't move in sync, someone's toes is getting stepped on. So you gotta balance the effort, and then you could glide together. Yeah. That's how you do it. You get a little grip on that thing. You get a little grip on that thing. What's up, Serenity? The cucumbers absolutely count. Maybe that's true. Maybe a majority of the ones that's complaining, they are just losers. Maybe it is the truth. Oh, I need some more water. Goddamn. Maybe that's the truth. But do men deserve less in the relationship is the question at hand. The idea that women should do less to make men happy just reinforce old stereotypes, right? It's like saying women should stay in the kitchen. It's outdated and absurd. So men gotta break this whole mold and build relationships on the equal footing of mutual respect. Where did I get it wrong? Is what I want. Let me see how we looking on the likes. Oh man, come on, y'all. Come on, man. Come on, man. Damn, we are 50-50 with do men deserve less in relationships? What? Hey, Rob, make sure y'all hit that poll because I want to see it. So we are at 50-50 on the vote. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I want to know if I got it wrong. I want to know if I got it wrong. As we open up the panel, let's see. Let's get it together. So Black said as soon as men get some respect, they'll give respect. As soon as men get some respect, we will give some respect. And so that goes to what the ladies was talking about earlier. Make sure y'all hit that like button, that notification. Is that where in your life that you are not getting this respect? Is it in the street or in a relationship? I do not understand men talking about they are in relationships with women, going on dates with them, and they not getting any respect with a woman. That is weird. Why are you dealing with women that are disrespectful to you? That's the part that is weird. If you are getting disrespected by your woman, that is your fault. That is not nobody else's fault but yours. You cannot blame your high school sweetheart that didn't want to pop it off with you in the goddamn back of the limo at prom night, and she went with the dude that looked like Sharon. It's not my fault. So this idea that you cannot, so again, way too many men, they pay attention to themselves way more than the person that's in front of them. If you can only decipher disrespect when it occurs, that is not true. You see it long time. You can see how somebody look at you if they respect you or not. You can tell by how they act, they treat, how they respond to you, or it's a bunch of little things that will let you know if the person actually have respect for you or not. And if you as a man not paying attention to those things because you just believe in this some kind of fairy tale that you're not dealing with crystal in front of you, but you're just dealing with women and all women are moving the same, then you have a issue because you want to date your mama. That's the problem with a lot of men. They think they dating their mama, their auntie, or their grandma. No, her name is Jasmine. And you need to pay attention to what Jasmine do, say, and move. Because why do men think that they need some kind of crystal ball to tell if a woman is disrespectful or not? I don't understand that. What you mean you need a crystal ball? Damn, Robin M. Jay Prince wants a mother for a girlfriend? That's crazy. So that's the strange part about it. So if you are giving somebody respect, Black, If you showing somebody respect and they not showing you back respect, why go on a second date? And that is the part that is always confusing to me. I do not understand where majority of these men are keep attracting themselves to disrespectful women. Clearly, men that keep finding themselves in relationships or dates with disrespectful women, they enjoy disrespectful women. That is their type. That is your type. And majority of the men, it seems like, at least the ones that are complaining, they enjoy disrespectful women. That's what majority of these men are doing. I do not believe that respectful men are out here just finding disrespectful women, and everywhere they go, no matter what day, it doesn't matter what race, creed, color that they date, they just keep on finding disrespectful women. That is something wrong with you.
Now they just want to disrespect women, well, and give respect back. That's not how it works.
Say that again, babe.
They want to be disrespectful to women, but get respect back.
So they want to be, and they don't realize how disrespectful their comments are sometimes. They be blatant disrespectful. And they think that I'm just telling the truth. They even bring up dumbass examples. Well, if your girlfriend is fat and she asks you if she's fat, what you gonna say? You gonna lie? Let you know. That's crazy. This is the woman that you love. You should treat her with some kind of love and reverence. Not just want to be mean to her. That is not your homeboy. Who's
Bubble boomers.
Well, thank you. I don't know why you say happy birthday, but thank you. It's weird. I guess. I'm a summer baby. I can't deal with this cold shit. And I think some of these men, they are absolutely confused between nice and corny, right? So we got this story that I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. Somebody sent me a story about Jimmy Butler. He do not want to pay an extra $10,000 a month to his baby mother. And I didn't get a chance to watch the story yet. But as we having this conversation today, I'm thinking about that story and what could be possibly said and why he do not want to give an extra $10,000 to the woman that gave birth to his child. And it's somebody that can afford it, by the way. It's somebody that can afford it. And all I could think about is that Jimmy Butler is one of those dudes that probably got disrespected when he was in high school. And he probably was a weirdo in high school, and he's still a weirdo today. And there ain't nothing wrong with him being weird. Like he liked to be emo one day. He liked to put on a wig. He liked to put extensions in his hair. He liked to paint his fingernails. He liked to do weird things. And I get it. You are a top-notch athlete, 6'7", tall, strong, and all that. I don't want no problems. I'm trying to get my ass whooped by some man wearing a goddamn wig.
So how much are you paying already?
I didn't get a chance to watch the video yet, so we could review it together. I'm planning a show so we could do that, and we could do it. But we know that Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade, even though they are phenomenal athletes, well over 6 foot, it's something strange about them. And I'm pretty sure they got, they didn't get the pick of the litter. And then as they got older, they got even stranger because they got money. It is what it is. So, Sonnet, my question to you, do you believe that men deserve less in relationships?
Deserve less? It should. What happens to everything being equal? We should equally care about each other, do for each other.
Yeah. And welcome to the show. Good day, Supreme Goddess, PH Diva. How you doing today?
Good day. I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I think I'm doing great today. I got some energy today. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, I told you that Gavin Newsom.
What happened with him?
I seen a video. He like, yes, we're gonna revive this whole thing. All of a sudden, he talking like a great politician, and I think we can get together as a community and rebuild LA with smart LA. We are welcoming the Super Bowl in 2027. We will be ready by next year to host the Super Bowl. We are going to be ready to host the World Cup in Los Angeles. We are going to be ready when the Olympics come to LA. I'm like, man, this is
He had a lot coming up.
shit.
Okay.
I was like, man, this is some bullshit, PH Diva.
And where he stay?
Right. Is his neighborhood on fire?
Damn. I'm pretty sure that Johnny Pump working over there.
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah.
And let me welcome into the show good day, Cuzzo. How you feeling today?
Yo, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, Cuzzo. Can you hear me clear?
We can.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, Cuzzo, let me take my shoes off before I walk into this room. Peace and love to the beautiful queen, the supreme goddess, PH Diva. Peace and love to you.
Peace and love.
And peace and love to all the beautiful queens in the chat, man. Anya Bracy, the SBG First Lady, Robin M. DB, Shiesty Bum, Bomb Cherry Juice, Rogue C, It's Me, Dr. G, Sexy Red TV, Conversations with MJ, Miss Jalen, Genesis, the voice of Venus, the verbal assassin, Victorious One, Zero Tolerance, Pink, Black Beauty, Ariel, CH, all the queens, man. Dawn, Renee, Keisha G, Fantasy Island Girl, the Sherelle Show, all the queens, man. Can't forget about none of the queens. Every time I hit this platform, I'm going to make it my purpose to lift y'all up, give y'all flowers, and show these men, show these knuckleheads how they should be treating the ladies, the queens, and the women on the internet, man. And peace and love to the kings as well. Can't forget about the kings, man. So, Cuzzo, you asked a good question, right? You said, do men deserve less? That was the question, right?
Correct.
And the answer to the question is simple, Cuzzo. I believe the issue is men, they're trying to opt out of their agreement to be men. And really, in the relationship world as it presents itself today, men want to be women. And they want to walk a mile in a woman's shoes. Because when I hear these men complain about the relationship world and complain about women, right? You got to listen closely to what they're saying. Are not trying to be protectors of women anymore, right? They're saying, hey, I want you to protect me. I want you to walk on the outside. I want you to be the big spoon. They're calling themselves the little spoon, cuzzo. Then you got men, right? They don't want to provide for women anymore. They're saying, hey, invest in me. Give me $55,000 to help me start my business.
Damn.
They want the woman to pay the bills, right? And they want to live fat off of the cow.
Woo-wee.
So when I listen to these men, I'm realizing something, cuzzo. You see, it used to be a time where men were simple to please, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just feed them, give him your femininity, take care of his needs, and then the man is good to go. He gonna work hard, he gonna protect, he gonna provide, he gonna defend, he's gonna move in his masculinity as the strong man of the house, right? Because though I realized that the reason why they call me simp, right, is because they recognize me as a dying breed of men who are still simple to please, right? They said Brownsville, he doesn't want his woman to give him flowers. Brownsville's a simp. They said, well, Brownsville, he doesn't want his woman to protect him.
Damn.
Brownsville's a simp. Brownsville don't want the Hershey chocolates and all of that stuff on Valentine's Day. Brownsville's a simp. Brownsville don't want to carry purses like the rest of us.
Damn.
Brownsville's a simp. Brownsville don't want to argue and fight with these women and compete with these women and compare himself to women all these times that we don't. Brownsville's a simp, right?
Right.
Brownsville wants to be the big spoon. He still want to be the big spoon. He's the simp, right? And they made it a derogatory term, cuzzo. And I'm really, really, disheartened because men are walking away from just being simple to please, right?
Damn.
Because in all actuality, if you reject the terminology of simp, then that makes you a lovers of men, right? So you got to be careful. So men got to ask themselves, look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, do I want to be a man that's simple to please? Or do I want to be a lover of men?
Damn.
Right? It's just that simple. Because when they come on the show, they tell you, they say, hey, listen, Sharon, we waiting for you to come on our side. Don't they tell you that, cuzzo?
Absolutely.
And that's weird right there. Like, what y'all talking about?
Hey, shout out to the Cash App. It says, Simp Sups rim down.
That's what I'm saying. So we got to understand when they calling us a simp, they're realizing that we're a dying breed of traditional men who are simple to please, right? Men, we don't need too much. All we need is our woman to be feminine. We need our woman to feed us. We need our woman to take care of our needs. And that's it. We take care of the rest, right? Men need to embrace that role of just being simple to please again. Walk and move in your masculinity, right? Don't get confused and put yourself in a position to cross over to that other side of the fence, right? And now you presenting yourself in a crazy way. That's why I'm always calling for these men to recalibrate their value systems, cuzzo. Remove lust and degeneracy from the top of their value system and replace it with God. Add some honor, integrity, self-reflection, accountability, responsibility, ambition, loyalty, all of those different kind of things underneath that, especially self-discipline and self-control. And then you'll be able to move in your masculinity in a way to where you'll be simple to please. You won't find it egregious to defend women, to protect women, to love on women, to lift women up the way a man, a traditional man, a simple to please man will be natural for him to do, man. So it's a great conversation. Embrace the role of being simple to please. When they call me a simp, I embrace it. I smile. I say, yes. These men, they see that I'm a lover of women. Peace and love, man.
That's a bomb. I love women so much. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love the smell of them. The taste of them. I just love them. God damn it. I don't know why these men they want to preach so much downfall about women day in and day out. And anytime when we see or hear me or my cousin talking about the downfall of what men are doing, for some reason they get upset. I don't know what is the problem. So you don't have no problem with anybody else saying they rhetoric every day. They say they bullish every single day. You have no problem with it. It's like, yes, they are preaching the gospel. Women's and the women's. And oh yeah, don't forget about the women's. And then, oh, do you remember when we went to the moon? It's the women's. But as soon as we start saying, hey, listen, I don't need much. My wife bring me some food. I could do my thing with her. And in the middle of the night, my ups and downs is in between the bed sheets. I get the conversation with her. I get a companion. I get to have somebody to converse with. And I give you all the things that my wife contributes to the relationship. They're like, well, what if you take all those things away? What? If I take away all of her great attributes, then what do I get? I get you, sir. That's what I get. That's what you want me to have. I don't want you.
That's what he wants.
That ain't what I want.
He's trying to convert you.
I'm over here trying to convert verbal assassin, and they trying to convert me over to men. That's crazy.
So you saying these gay dudes getting aggressive?
They getting aggressive. And I don't understand what's wrong with them. Hey, listen, sir, I don't care how much you try to talk about my hand movements. I don't care how much you want to talk about my shirts. I'm not going. I'm not going. I don't like men like that. And then we got Naras and Dialogues. He's telling me, he said, hey, you need to refill your red pill, sir. So all I'm saying is that if that is the case, you come up, you hit the link, and you tell me where I got it wrong at. You explain to me what talking point that I said today is wrong. Why is that so difficult for people to just follow the concept and say, hey, this is what I agree with, this is what I disagree with? It's okay.
So whose show were you on?
I wasn't on nobody's show. It's just something I came up with today. I was just thinking like, hey, do these men actually deserve less because they keep saying they are going to do less to be in a relationship? They want to take away protection. They want to take away provision. They want to take away men chivalry, being chivalrous. They want to take that away as well. They want to take away men dressing like men. They said, no, we don't need to dress like men anymore. I want a merce too. I want a nice little saddle going across my body. I want my pants to be a little tighter. I want to show my hips too. I've been working out. I want to show off my what they call it?
I show my hips.
They want to show their hips, Diva. They be doing the same dances as the women. Like, listen, when I was growing up, Diva, now these dudes gonna be like, man.
What the fuck is that?
I'll be like, what the hell is going on with these goddamn dance challenges that all these men are doing? These damn hips is moving better than a woman. What is going on? What is going on, Diva?
I don't know. Well,
I know you from the South, right? So you don't mind a man gyrating his hips a little bit.
I was just about to say, I'm from a place where like the men dance like the women. Everybody pops. Like, as a matter of fact, like the men probably pop more.
That's my issue. See, when I was growing up watching Luke, I ain't never seen Luke doing the damn dance moves with the girls.
No, but Luke had male dancers back there.
And we know what those male dancers was. For some reason, they never had no children.
No, stop it. No.
Diva?
Derek is not gay.
Oh, yes, they were.
It's not gay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, but
you know for a fact the men that could, especially when we was growing up, if you could dance a certain way,
that's not true. Everybody had to do it.
If you wasn't doing the running man, don't like all that was okay. As soon as those hips start gyrating, motherfuckers like, hey, bro.
No, and Diva, do you really want your man to say, hey, Supreme Goddess, let's go on a double spa date, or hey, Supreme Goddess, let's go get matching purses? You know what I'm saying?
Certainly
That's
not matching purses.
that's what these men are doing. They're saying, hey, they're going on spy dates, right, with the women. They're going on
I don't
dates
have
to
a
get
problem with that.
matching purses. They're doing everything that a woman traditionally that was for them, right?
Right.
They're telling a woman where to send the roses and where to send the flowers on Valentine's Day, right? And so now the women are confused, right? They don't know what men want anymore, right? Because they're asking for all of these things that traditionally men didn't pay attention to. What do you make of all that, Supreme Goddess?
Oh shit. Uh, well, some of the stuff I don't think is a problem. Like going to the spa. Lots of couples go to the spa and have like a couple spa day. They give you like the couples massage or whatever. But certainly like the flowers and I think a lot of the men do want to be treated like women now. But I think that's just because like they don't think about how, what appropriate male appreciation looks like from a woman. So all they can do is say, look at, okay, well, the women doing this. Okay, well, then I should be able to do that too.
Right.
So what
And
if he had a satchel on? A satchel. Would you count that as a purse?
no, satchel, no. So
Yes, Silent, you got a purse.
a satchel, the one that goes across one shoulder?
That's what you got, Silent?
No, not like that. I got one of those military bags. Yeah, but it is one. It is one.
Shoulder.
One around, but it's one of the military ones. Or I wonder. Let me see. I may can show it without showing myself.
I think we've seen you
Say
before,
couple.
Silent.
When I say couple spa dates, right? I'm not meaning
It's not a purse.
going and getting the couples
No, that ain't no
massage
purse.
and all that. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, Silent.
PH Diva.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is the men going and getting their nails done, right? Going and getting the manicure, going to get the facials, and all the different things. Going to get waxed. You know what I'm saying? These
Hair
are the
extensions.
issues. These are the things that
Why are you
men are
laughing at
trying to do.
I just say like I can't imagine one of my homies like, yeah, I got a wax appointment.
Or what about the guys that have to get those extensions, those fake dreads?
Damn.
Or the glue on beard.
Yeah,
No, that'd be crazy.
the Steve Harvey, the fresh.
But I think but it's been an uptick in this whole idea that men need to definitely pamper themselves. All I'm saying, like, if I go to a couple spa day, I just don't want my woman to get mad at me if I get a happy ending. It's a muscle, goddammit.
No, it's not.
What you mean?
It's not a muscle.
What you mean, Diva? That's it. I've been working.
It's not a muscle.
And we've been working all week together. So I'm just saying sometimes it needs a little massage too, goddamn. You know, all I'm saying, like, if we go to Queens and we get because we know what's going down in Queens.
We do not. What is going down in Queens?
Diva, we covered it. The little parlors over there that are giving you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want massage?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how they sound too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a massage you a long time.
How many times you done been up in there?
But Diva, what do you think? So all these men, right, on this internet complain, they all keep on taking things away from the relationship that men are supposed to bring into a relationship. So now if they taking so many things away from relationships and they pulling back and say, no, we are not doing the same thing that these traditional men are keep saying. Do men deserve less in relationships then?
I think men deserve nothing in relationships. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I do think, generally speaking, women should, focus more on what they are getting in a relationship than like, just having a relationship or being willing to give anything just to have that relationship or give a lot.
Who's willing to give anything?
Like the woman, like, so a lot of times women, because they want relationships, like they just want the relationships, they not really requiring it much of anything from the men, right? So they're coming in, and I remember reading an article, I think it was in like Essence, this was some years ago, this might have been like a decade ago, but it was talking about DC and how DC is an area with a lot of highly paid, highly educated blacks, right?
Okay.
And so the woman was talking about dating in DC and how you have all of these like educated, successful black women basically auditioning to be with the successful, educated black men in the area, right? And so when you're in that type of scenario where you're auditioning or trying to induce that person to come and be with you, then you're going to be like giving a lot, right? To show them like this is a good situation, you know, but you may not be, you're not probably not going to be requiring much from that person, right?
Damn, that's
because
crazy.
you don't want to put them off and make them, you know, run off to one of the other you know, many women that they got access to.
That's kind of wild. So it's already been a shift in what men are producing in relationships, you're saying, especially the ones that are well-to-do.
Right. And I don't know if it's been a shift, right? I mean, look, I don't know that they've ever. So there was I think she was a sociologist who wrote a book over a decade ago, maybe like a decade ago.
Okay.
Maybe like 2010, black lady. And so the book was about how black women in dating really don't have many standards beyond looks. And so she was talking about how part of the reason for that was because, like, historically, black males didn't have the typical, you know, wealth or power or whatever that other groups of women might prioritize when they're looking for a man.
Okay.
Right. So am I making any sense?
No,
like in my head, all of this is related, but I don't know if it's coming out the right way.
Definitely. I'm starting to understand. So
these niggas ain't got shit to give, is what I'm saying. Right? To in a relationship to begin with, for the most part, right? So if protection provision is the thing, we can look, if we're looking at being honest, we'll see that has been lacking within like our community, right? And so those black women haven't really gotten that regardless, right? But we're in an environment where we're saying, well, what else, you know, like telling black women, you need to be more, you need to give more. But it's like, what can we really get in return, right? Given the compromised position of the men.
Shit. So you're saying that even if the men wanted to give, they don't have nothing to give in a relationship besides some kind of physical protection and sex, that they are not as good as they think they are.
Right. I don't even think black men can give physical protection in the vast majority of instances, right?
Shit.
So that's why I'm always so confused by us having this conversation about, like, the Cooley guy. I saw something about him earlier today. And he was saying like, yeah, you know, the man don't got to tell you where he at, but you got to tell him where you at, because he's going to protect and provide for you. And I was just like, but that's really not the scenario, you know,
a majority of people.
Right. So I don't know. I think we talk about a lot of things that don't actually exist in reality.
Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of times me and this channel get a lot of pushback, and telling the truth about reality is something that is a tough pill for people to swallow. A lot of these people, they say they want to be red pillars and stuff like that, but then when you actually put the truth out there in front of them, they do not want to take that pill at all. They don't even want to crush it up and turn it into a gel. They just do not want to take that pill. All of a sudden, they don't understand. All of a sudden, like, hey, so how many men you know had to go and how many men you know actually went outside and a woman witnessed them physically fought? or witness them physically get into an altercation. At least a pushing match. Not even, you don't even got to go to fisticuffs. Did you even see your man get into a pushing match? Say, hey, brother, you need to move away from here and clear this out because me and my family got served. Have you even seen that from your man? Forget the physical fight, because majority of people don't even physically fight. Right. So have you even seen your man just put his foot down on a stranger or somebody he know, cousin, uncle, whatever, say, hey, bro, this is not the spot for you to act like that. You need to move the fuck along. Majority of people never even seen that. And they talking about they are such great protectors. Like most of these men is like, Sharon, if I see you, I do this, that, and the third. My wife seen me into situations where I was about to get my ass whooped by 10 people and I didn't stand down. So whether that's prideful or not, I was like, y'all get the fuck up out of here. And they got their ass the fuck up out of here. Luckily, I don't need to get my ass whooped anymore, Diva.
You need to learn how to watch what you say up out your mouth.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, so she seen me stand up and say, hey, you know what? And like, like it's so weird. And most of these men, they ain't never even had to raise their voice outside of their house before in front of their woman. The only time they are big dogs when they close that damn door and they try to act like they tough and rough in front of their woman. That's the only time. When you are on these goddamn spaces and all that, and you out here and you show how everybody you could shoot your gun at targets that ain't shooting back, you are tough. I get it. In reality, that's not your reality. In reality, you're sitting behind a goddamn computer.
Yeah, a lot of these guys confuse some of their toughness. It's cowardice, really. If you tough because you got that piece on you. You ain't tough with your hands.
Marvelous, come up and give us your marvelous opinion.
And I'm starting to think that majority of them, they start to understand they can't really argue the truth anymore. And that's why they scared to actually hit the link and they stay in the chat. Majority of them, they would just say, no, bro, why are you talking so long? Like, that's your argument? Why is he talking so long?
Because I don't know about y'all states, but I know Indiana, it passed this law that you don't even need to have your gun permit no more. So now these dudes walking around here with the Wild Wild West, like with it on their hip. You know, supposed to be concealed, it's not concealed no more.
Everybody got it. They don't even got holsters. It's just in a pocket.
And then it's been people, like it's been a few people, like they purposely trying to start something with somebody so they can pull it.
It's just weird to see it happening in real time, that so many men do not have a legit argument of why things should be changing for them. They are not putting in any real work like how they say they are. They want everybody else around them to put in the work so they can reap the benefits of them motivating somebody through their words and not through their actions, is what I'm starting to notice. They don't want to actually put in no work to say, hey, I did this, down the third, and that's how I got to this point. This is why I always tell people, hey, listen, I do not have to look at a bodybuilder and ask them how often you go to the gym. It's not a thing. You'll look at somebody like, oh, you know he work out. You don't got to ask him. So I think it's always weird to see how many men just complain with each other all day. I mean, literally, Diva, the man said, if you take away compatibility, you take away vagina, and you take away the fact that she cooks and cleans, what do you get from a woman? I was just like, that is insane. And all the other 9 men on the panel, they're like, exactly. What do we get?
Because though they lovers of men. Like that's, I mean, we at some point, we gotta stop acting like it's just a joke, right? Like we gotta stop acting like it's just a troll. No, when you hear these men communicate, they are communicating the lovers of men ideology, right? They want to be woman and they want to fulfill a woman's role, and they just want to make it okay for the masses to accept them, right? So they came up with this manipulative strategy in order to convince both men and women that it should be okay, right? And what I'm saying is, we need strong men to reject it and call it out and say, nah, man, we not moving that way, right? We're not even thinking about a situation to where we're removing anything that makes a woman feminine, anything that makes a woman the balance that she carries and that she has and the value that she brings to a man. That's crazy. It's egregious. And we gotta stop doing it, man. And the men that are doing it, then it's simple. They're lovers of men, and that's just what it is, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Conversations with MJ with the 50 ball. Good day, Sharon. Just contributing to the coffee fund for January, February. Laugh out loud. Talk to you later. Gym flow time. All right.
Yeah. Me and MJ working on some things. I gotta speak to her later on today. After the gym. But I don't know why so what's your thoughts on what the Cuzzo said PH Diva?
Okay, now where was this said at? That's what I was asking you. What panel was this on where the man was like, you could take away, blah blah blah, and what do you get? Did that actually happen?
Yes, this is a real.
Where was it?
It's a real thing. This happened on Diva. It happens on so many panels. I could close my eyes, spin around, and pick a show, and I could find a spot where they said that at.
Oh, okay. So you referring to like several conversations in general. Okay. That's pretty funny though. I mean, so even if you take away, what was it? The sex, the companionship, the cooking and cleaning. I mean, so the list goes on, right? So there are still things that a woman's going to bring to them. So I guess maybe they just aren't aware of what men want in women or what women bring to a man that men value. But maybe that's because, like Brownsville said, they don't really want a woman, right? So they don't value women like that.
Damn. Somebody said
as that all the time. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Is it?
Yeah, to ask that question. Yes.
So this is where we got to start pulling back the onion, Diva, and turn this into a crop fest. Is it really crazy that somebody that might not be, you know what?
No, do it. Go.
I'm going to leave it alone because they going to say I'm starting stuff. I don't want to start nothing. This is 2025.
Yes, we want to be starting something.
We supposed to have packed our bags, PH Diva. No, welcome to the show. Marvelous appear. Let's see if his microphone is working. What's up, Marvelous?
What's going on?
Oh, there you go. It's working.
Hey, Marvelous.
How y'all doing? Long time no see.
Well today. Thank you.
Wonderful, sir.
What's your thoughts?
I don't got too many thoughts. It does sound like you guys do have interesting perspective, though. How y'all see the world is very interesting. But I'm just here to gather what y'all see. That's all.
What were you saying in the chat, Marvelous?
I was saying that y'all have an interesting perspective and that apparently the grass is green on the side. That's it.
What's the other side?
The other side is anything other than black men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it is what it is. That's your perspective. I'm not gonna change it.
I'm gonna switch to race.
So I did bring it up, silent. But the thing is, the interesting thing to me is when black men are on these panels amongst each other, just black men up there talking, they'll start talking about how black men are in a different situation than other groups of men in this country, right? But when I say it, it's taken as an assault. You get what I'm saying? And it's just the reality of the situation. And a lot of times I feel like black men want us as black women to be in like La La Land or be in like fantasy land with y'all. Like, oh no, y'all doing everything the other men doing. You know what I mean? and that's just not the case. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't be scared now, Mr. Opinion.
There was no opinion. There was nothing I said that was egregious in the chat. I mean, I said what I said, but I'm here. I'm listening. I pulled up just to listen and give my 2 cents.
Okay, so Barbless, do you believe that men that are trying to take away all these attributes of men away from relationships, do you think they should start deserving less within relationships?
I think you get what you deserve based on your decision making.
So if a man is saying that he's going to take away, he don't want to be traditional anymore, so that means that he's not going to provide, he's not going to protect anymore. He's going to take away all these things. He deserves less in a relationship.
I think based on that type of decision making, that he's childish and selfish. If you're gonna be a child, act like a child, and stay like a child, that's on you. You get childish results.
That is true, but do you hear men not use these talking points day in and day out in these conversations?
When I do honestly hear a conversation like that, I try to redirect men to do exactly like I just said, be more mature about the decision making, and stop worrying about women so much. Focus on yourself. Try to redirect the conversation back to men and not on women so much. I do attempt that. I did that yesterday on Might Be Risky, but there's a lot of men who really, I believe, look at this stuff as equality and equate themselves to women in so many different regards in a comparison to justify what it is they're feeling. And at the end of the day, feelings in themselves are irrational. So you try to make sense of something that you're trying to feel and try to convey that. That's why it sounds crazy as hell when you're talking. It makes no sense. All you're doing is having a tantrum and complaining about a whole bunch of shit that you can't get because it's what you desire, your selfish desires. You can't control yourself. So men are going to continue to complain and cry because they're still they're childish inside. As much as the man as they have developed into, they still mentally make children mistakes. How I know, because a lot of things they do is stupid. And stupidity is defined as simply this: going against what you know, taking your feelings and putting that above what you know. You know better, but you rather do this because of how you feel. You're being stupid. That's all it is.
So now, with that being said, why do people act like I'm saying something so egregious all the time? Because I focus on men having a better thought pattern. Why do you think people find it so egregious that I'm talking about men moving better?
There was something that Kevin Seven said. Some people are just stuck on stupid. Some people are just simply stuck on stupid. They can't help themselves. They cannot. They really have no control over themselves. So even when you talk to them, they can't. Whatever they're triggered by, whatever they're feeling that time, they feel like that has to be said right now, has to be dealt with. And it's just like, no, deal with yourself for a moment, and then come back to the conversation. Because we're talking about this right now. We're not talking about how you feel.
So Marvelous. Peace and love to you, my brother.
Peace and love to you too.
Would you describe yourself as being simple to please by a woman or complicated to be pleased by a woman?
I'm very simplistic all around. Very simplistic. Very, very simplistic.
How are you simplistic with a marvelous opinion?
It's just the title.
Okay. Is it that it is just more entertaining for men to complain about women? Is that the problem?
Well,
that could be. That's also an issue as well.
What you said, Diva?
No, I'm saying I do think there could be an element of that. I think there is something to be said for commiserating with other men and bonding over, the trauma that is women.
That is wildly insane to me. To be honest, I don't think men that do not just want to accept the fact that they are wrong as people that you could follow. I think that's weird as hell. I ain't never seen like if these men, but this, maybe that's why sports shows are so difficult to move in these spaces, Diva, because they don't actually want to move and win anything, right? Because no matter what, if the quarterback is doing something and every time he throws the ball, it gets interception, And everybody else on the team like, hey, you got to stop throwing that ball that way. And he's like, no, it's not me. It's because the receiver can't get to the spot on time. It's like, right, what would happen is normally that quarterback would get fired. And maybe these men are just not adjusted and used to moving with what's actually happening in front of them so they can actually win something. They want to just do it their way and win their way instead of understand that, hey, somebody might have the counter to what you're already doing. And so, like, even though, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I don't understand what narratives and dialogues is talking about. He says, so Sharon, men should not talk about bad behaviors of simps and hyenas.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe they should talk about it, but you want to have to substantiate what simps have bad behaviors, what hyenas have bad behaviors, and bring the evidence and say, hey, this is what I'm talking about, and then we could attempt to have a conversation about that. But usually we are not talking about that. Majority of the men do not want a woman that is on Section 8 that have 3 baby daddies and 4 children. That is not what they're searching for.
It's crazy. They complain about the women, but they mess with them at the same time. Why complain if you mess with her? You know what?
So I don't understand why every time we're having a conversation to move forward, we trying to when we're attempting to move the majority of men forward, why we talking about the minority of women? Because the majority of women, especially the majority of black women, they are not this thing that y'all keep on trying to paint the picture of. What is the real average black woman nowadays in today's day and age that have children compared to the men? It ain't that far off. Or maybe
and my question to narratives and dialogues would be, why does he feel so comfortable reducing a black woman down to a scavenger in the animal kingdom by calling them a hyena? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard him use that term on several occasions, and I just don't understand, like, why he's so comfortable downgrading his own woman in that type of a manner. To me, it just, I don't know, man. I don't understand it.
Have you seen him outside of that cartoon thingy? Like, have you actually seen him?
Who narratives and
No,
dialogue?
I've never seen him.
Oh, okay, all right.
I would love. I heard he ain't afraid to hit the panel, but for some reason he afraid to actually go back and forth with intellectual minds. I don't know why. What you think?
I saw him on somebody panel. I can't remember, and was like, and it was actually him, not that little cartoon thing. It was just like, oh, okay.
And was it pushback, or is a bunch of men? It was the majority of men complaining.
Actually, I was just scrolling by, and it happened to be like him talking, and so that's how I knew it was him. But child, I paused and then I resumed scrolling expeditiously.
These ain't no joke. You say something, Diva? I'm not sure if you say something or you just fall away from the mic.
Oh no, that was, I think that's somebody in somebody's car. No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah, my fault. That's my GPS. My fault.
Okay. So yes, I don't know. I don't understand if first of all, they say bad behaviors are simps. So a simp is somebody, right? Technically, if we go by the technicality of the word, not what me and my cousin is somebody that is doing a whole bunch of extra things to get some sex. The OnlyFans people type situation, and the people that's paying for play. Those are, so what are they doing that is so wrong that is affecting regular dating markets? That's the part I don't understand. Because if this man is paying said woman She ain't giving him nothing. How's that affecting anything? That ain't, most likely you ain't getting that woman that can get multiple men to just give her money just because she looks good or because she got some Instagram fame. Majority of you men are not able to get that kind of woman. So I don't even know why y'all even complaining about that kind of woman. That's always mind-boggling me. How many of you men actually have these Instagram famous models in your phone? How many of y'all? Majority of y'all are who y'all talking about. You are the simp. Literally. You are the one that is talking about the ladies. You are the one that is in her DM. You are the one that is talking about, it is you, sir. I'm sorry to tell you, you the simp. You need to look in the mirror. So we all know if you point a finger at somebody, you got 3 pointing back at you. That's why Sharon, when he tell y'all something,
Do the knife hand. The knife hand.
But I think, the story about what's his name? The basketball player, the weird basketball player.
Jimmy Butler. Yeah, what's going on with that, Diva?
I think like the men are telling the women or showing the women, right? In his case, that they deserve less or we deserve less based on our status, right? So he met a woman, a white woman in 2019, started dating her. Between 2019 and now they had 3 children.
Damn.
Yeah. At some point they split up. He now pays about $55,000 a month in child support. All right.
Okay.
Then he got a big contract, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess maybe she wanted more. She went back to petition the courts to increase the child support by $10,000 a month so she could afford to get a nanny. So in his response, he mentioned that basically, hey, this bitch don't want to get a job. Like she can get a job. She don't need no damn nanny. She there with him because she don't refuse to get a job. Right? So if she's not working, like why does she need a nanny for the 3 kids? Nevertheless, he also said, and this was the interesting thing to me, that she expects to live like she's married to an NBA player. Right. So he's making a distinction on how much she deserves based on the status she occupied. She was just his girlfriend. Now she is baby mama. So she don't deserve to live like she married to a ball player, when if she was a respectable woman and not if she married before she carried, right, then she would be entitled to live like she married to a ball player. So they showing these women you deserve less based on what status you occupy. So women better certainly do the same thing, right? So boyfriends don't deserve certain things that husbands might deserve.
That's crazy,
right? So these women better be mindful. This red pill shit seeping into a lot of like men's actual ideology. Right.
Yeah, no, I think the main problem is that majority of these men, right? I think majority of these men, they don't live in real life for real. So this is why they keep saying, oh, this is just the internet. We just talking. This shit ain't just talking. People be hearing y'all bullshit and try to go out there and live that shit. They really hear all they watch these goddamn movies of men doing certain things to women, and they're like, yeah, that shit is cool. And they try to go ahead and do that shit for real, for real. They trying to create children and did not take care of them for real, for real.
If the court $55,000 a month.
If the court says pay this, that's all they're gonna do, and they think that they taking care of something. When we know he's saying all that shit like, oh, it's $55,000 a month. He ain't normal,
right?
Like I don't know why they keep saying, oh, that's not. It's not. That shit ain't normal, bro. What the money that you make is not normal. So right, don't think that you want to get a normal outcome of when you have a child. It's ridiculous.
He wouldn't even feel the $10,000, right? All that money he made. He wouldn't even.
But he got to be doing the right thing with his money, because if his career don't last, then shit.
He already been in the league for how many years? He been in it for
9
a
years,
minute,
10 years.
right? Yeah,
Mm.
he ain't no first contract, second contract dude.
And then the idea that, oh, you know, that shit don't have nothing to do with anything. You created whatever you created, that situation. You did that. That ain't nobody else's fault. You need to handle that shit. That is your children. And so this whole idea that it doesn't trickle up is a lie. We've seen it trickled up now.
Right.
It ain't trickling down no more. It's trickling up. So now these men like, hey, shit, I'm gonna make sure, yeah, you know what? You're right. We don't have to marry these women. Why should I? So she could get half and da. And then now when you create 3 children, we don't know what she got to do to make sure those children stay protected. She can't just live on a regular block. I don't know why they keep acting like these, like she can't live in a regular place.
Right.
I'm sorry to tell you, she can't. Let people start to say, oh shit, you know, I go to school with Jimmy Butler's son. Okay. That might turn off into be a problem. So she can't necessarily live that regular. She got to be around people that got that kind of money and fame attached to them as well. And for some reason, a majority of these people just act like they don't understand that. I don't know why though.
Neither.
That is a danger to his own children to say, hey, I don't care what car you drive. I don't care if that car breaks down and now you're on the side of the road.
Well, I mean, he is giving her $55,000 a month, and so on that, like, what's a car breaking down? You know what I mean?
Right, but how much is those schools cost a month?
Well,
3 children.
That is true. She got a bunch of them.
Right, so like we know the regular ones is about like $10,000 a month.
Okay. So she got 3 of them, so she'll be doing like $30,000 a month. Okay, then she need a house in a good neighborhood.
How much is that a month?
I don't know.
Bare minimum $5,000.
Yeah,
that's bare
for
minimum.
her, she probably don't want more than that.
Absolutely, because she got to really live in an actually gated type of community. So that's really more like $10,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's $40,000 going. And then now you got to eat.
Get that lady that money.
Then you got to eat. But the problem is, what I'm starting to really understand that so many, like both parties of men are fantasizing about each other's lifestyle.
He is. David Richards say the dude Jimmy renting a house in Miami for $55,000.
Come on.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
Nobody want to say, hey, he making the money, so why not? So if he making the money, why he can't take care of his kids?
Right. And honestly, yeah, it's only asking for 10 more. She didn't ask for she didn't say $100,000. She said an extra 10. That ain't that bad, extra 10.
Fuck it.
He's lucky all she wants is extra 10.
Fuck it if it's being bad or not. The fact that you're saying you don't want to give it because you don't want her to live a certain lifestyle is insanity. You're not even talking about your children.
Right.
That mentality alone.
Because most men look at it like they're not thinking about the money for the kids. They thinking about, oh, I'm giving the money to her. That's the way they take it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the insanity of the whole situation. If I have it, first of all, I don't get it. If I ever had it, trust me, if I had enough money where I'm making and I'm spending $55,000 a month, clearly that's not a problem for me. There is no way I'm gonna allow my baby mothers to work.
And then at the same time, if he cares so much, then get the custody then.
You are connected to me. Most of these men, they gonna want to have sex with you because you're connected to me. They gonna want to be in the same place Sharon Bracey put his peen in. They don't even like you for real. They like the fact that I chose you. You was good enough for Sharon Bracey, so therefore, yeah, I want some of that too. I want to see what that vagina feel like. The ones that Sharon chooses.
Hey, can y'all hear me? Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, Jimmy Butler, man, he's making 50 million this year. You know what I'm saying? And 50 million next year. So it's kind of crazy that, you know, he's looking at child support and kind of weaponizing it. He thinks he's weaponizing it against the woman, but he's actually weaponizing it against his own children, right? And I don't understand why men don't view it that way. It's called child support for a reason, right? You shouldn't want your children to live a substandard life that you live, right? That makes you selfish. That makes you just like that brother Enigma who came up here and said, hey, I got to prioritize myself over my children.
So that's probably about
he said, my bad, it's $70,000 a month. That's what you paid for his spot in Miami. Come on.
Wow. Yeah.
Come on.
So that's probably, that come out to about 5.6 a year or something like that.
What housing for 70,000? No, that's a little less than $1 million. It's a little less than $1 million. Yeah, believe it or not, you need to make $83,000 a month to make $1 million. So even if he was,
no, I'm talking about the child support. Like child support is not tax, right? It's just straight cash money, right?
660,000 is what she currently gets in a year. Oh damn.
So that's crazy. So he's giving her 660,000 a year for his kids.
That's not that bad, honestly. If you making, even if after his taxes he bringing home 20, that ain't nothing.
Right. So
and like I was saying, if you got a big deal over it, once you get custody, but I bet you he don't want custody though.
He brings in like over $4 million a month, right? Now I know he got to pay tax, he got to pay his people, whatever, but still, like to be complaining about $65,000 a month.
Yeah.
When you bringing in $4 million a month,
come on, that's insane.
That's just his NBA salary. Like
that's just that, because we ain't talking about the Heineken deal. Right. We're not talking about like just one deal could pay her off.
Exactly.
If he mismanaging his money, it could be that too.
Who cares about that shit? Like that's not.
No, that's why he's probably crying.
No, ain't no such thing.
Niggas paying child support for 10 different kids. What's that?
You understand? He's crying about it. He should pay it. He made the kids. He paid the money. Shit.
And then now they saying stay out his pocket. So stay out that woman's pockets then. So she should be able to get the extra 10 then. And stop crying and say, oh, she gonna get the extra $10,000 and let somebody else fuck. Oh well, get out that girl's vagina and her pocket.
Because he fucking too. So what the
so like it's just weird. Like and you know how I know for a fact, Diva, that majority of men choose women by who they had people with, who they had sex with?
How?
Because both of my baby mothers, guess what? Guess what? Both of those men, guess who they knew?
Did they know you?
Absolutely.
Really?
That's some other shit there.
Absolutely.
So, like, how is your relationship with them now? Are you like you was a bitch ass nigga?
No, I told him, I was like, hey, listen, to really make her go crazy, you need to tickle this part right here. When you touch this part of her body,
you know what? You ain't shit.
They can't play with me.
That's crazy.
You don't want to look at me like that because I could tell you all about your woman, sir.
Okay, but like, so okay, when you say you knew them, like you was cool with them?
No, I'm not. I'm not cool with no men, really.
No, I'm saying before.
But I'm saying like we was.
Like you knew him and was cool with him.
We was in the same places, same backyard barbecues, same clubs. We was around. We seen each other. We know each other. Say what's up to each other.
More
all before they was with before they wanted to say, damn, I wonder what Sharon should taste like. Let me go lick her vagina.
Okay.
And that's just the truth of the matter that most of these men, yo, Diva, I promise you.
Some men gonna fight your ass the next time you see him. What's the next holiday?
They don't want no small. I seen Diva.
Yes.
So Supreme Goddess, what would you advise the young ladies to do about these men, this new dark manipulative advertisement that they are proposing to women, which says, hey, we don't have to get formally married because technically we're spiritually married, right? What would you say to the women who are being bamboozled by this manipulative tactic in order for the men to get away from a full commitment?
Well, I think I would advise the woman to think about her situation and who she's dealing with and evaluate whether or not that actually would work in her best interest as well. Right. So if you're the woman who has to lend her man $55,000 for him to start his business, and at some point y'all split up, it's very different to split up with a boyfriend and say, hey, carry your ass on, even if you take the L on the money, keep the money, go, right? But if that's your husband, it's a very different scenario, right? So you can't just say get out and be gone. You have to deal with that person. And women are increasingly finding out that they may even have to pay that person to leave.
Damn.
And so in some instances, and increasingly, the spiritual marriage might work, in the interest of that woman.
Damn, that's
so I would say evaluate critically whether or not it works for you or whether you need, to be legally married.
Damn,
But
so you're saying that so what you're saying, Diva, that the tides has changed or is in the midst of turning and that more men are actually benefiting from marriage than women.
Absolutely. That study that they love to cite actually proves that point, right? Because they said it was over 50 or 60% of Black men are in the middle class, but when they broke those numbers down, they found that 70% of the married Black men were in the middle class, compared with 40% of divorced Black men, compared with 20% of the never married Black men who were in the middle class, right? So it's those women driving that middle class status.
Shit. It's a scary thing, especially when we had like the conversation that we had on Friday night when majority of women said, hey, listen, I wouldn't mind being married to my man and living separate so he could take care of his goddamn self. That's crazy to me when I heard that.
Yeah, but see how shocked you were that there were a lot of women who agreed?
Yes, I was completely shocked about women that agree with that. Welcome to the show, Beans, little podcast. Good day, sir. How you feeling?
Don't do that. Don't do that at all. You're going to stop this bullshit. Now you're going to ask PH Diva to substantiate that claim that women are driving the men in the middle class. Thank you.
I just did.
No, you didn't.
How she did substantiate it? She said because it's more men that are married that's in the middle class than men that are single that are in the middle class. So that's her substantiation. You disagree with that substantiation?
So let me ask you this question. Damn, I hate to use this because it was a movie, but Shake, did you see Why Did I Get Married Part 2?
I did not.
You stacking bastard.
I ain't
so,
black.
All right, never mind.
You say you ain't black enough?
I ain't black enough.
Give me that card.
No, because it was another show. It was an episode of Suits when Lewis's sister was getting divorced and her husband was trying to take 50% of her business, and she was like, no, you don't deserve half of the business that I built. Right? So the narrative is, even though you was with this man, y'all was married together, he stayed at home, took care of the kids, he still don't deserve half of your business. Same narrative in the Why Did I Get Married movie, right? With Janet Jackson when she was divorcing her husband. Same narrative that it was with that black comedian lady who was paying alimony to her husband. Same narrative that it was, I think, Britney Spears, right? When a woman is in a relationship with a man and she builds something, nobody believes that the man deserves half of what she get if they divorce, right? She built that company, but somehow you want to give women credit for what the man is doing in a relationship. Make that make sense.
Yeah, but the Britney Spears did have to pay that man, right? She just stopped paying him because I think the youngest son became of age.
Yes, but that's based on law. We're not talking about law. We're talking about opinion, right? The opinion is, regardless of what the law says, the opinion is that a woman shouldn't have to pay a man. That when a woman is in a relationship with a man, whatever she built it, and he don't deserve none of it.
I don't think that's what the issue was with her. I think that people recognize that, like, he was an opportunist, like he came in to get something from her.
Right.
Right. So if people have a problem with him being an opportunist and preying on her, and then we saw what happened to her after their breakup or whatever, their situation, right? And so I think that's what people responded negatively to, not necessarily that she had to pay him alimony and child support, right? Because Mary J. Blige had to do it. She came out and warned us, right? Sherry Shepherd had to do it. She came out and warned us. But I don't think the women, like black women especially, were having these overwhelming negative responses to it. I think more so it was just cited as an example, like, hey, the situation done changed now. A lot of us got more than these niggas. And so in that situation, if you marry that broke nigga, you gonna have to pay him to leave.
See what I mean?
What you mean?
Marry that broke nigga.
Yeah.
Right? But when the woman is in a situation, she ain't the broke bro. She's the one driving the man to his success.
Right.
She's the one driving the man to middle class. You see?
Correct. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we understand. So are you saying that double standards do not exist all of a sudden?
No, but it's not a double standard.
No, but that's what Beans is saying. Beans saying there's a double standard that women can come into the game broke. Right.
But he has a misunderstanding.
No.
Right?
That's not,
so with the man, it's not the woman is driving that middle class status because she is working too and adding her money to the pot. That's how they get into middle class status. And so it's not, her just resting up. She's actually doing something and contributing.
That's not true.
That is true.
That's what I'm saying. That's not true. The money, when they do this stat about black men being in the middle class, that does not have anything to do with the money that their wife is making. Absolutely. Zero, zip. It's about the money that they're making. So let me finish.
Right.
Because one of the arguments is
household income.
But that's what I'm saying. That's irrelevant. I'm not talking about household income. I'm talking about when they're talking about black men. Let me say it one more time. When they say black men in the middle class, they're talking about that particular black man and the money that he's making, right? Not the money that his woman is bringing to the situation, the money that he's making, right? Because here's the narrative.
Wait, did you read the study?
I didn't. I'm only talking about that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about.
And so you're
talking about. I'm talking about specifically. I'm talking specifically about the narrative of the black men in the middle class. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just talking specifically.
Right, and that narrative came from a study where it used household income to determine whether or not the men are middle class.
But
and
it didn't. That's what I'm
married men were middle class because they were married to a working woman who also had income.
But it didn't. That's what I'm
Yes, it did. And you've never even read the study.
That's your study. The study you're talking about is
It's
irrelevant.
the study that Kevin Samuels gave you dumb niggas to
Who
go
cares
around and
about
keep
Kevin
talking
Samuels?
about.
Who
That's
cares
the
about Kevin
study
Samuels?
that they're
Okay,
citing
hold on.
when
So
they talk
podcast, you
about
said
black
That's
men
okay.
being
irrelevant.
middle class.
You
Hold on.
don't
So
have to
podcast,
argue.
hold on.
That's
All right, hold on.
irrelevant.
So let me get the argument straight. Podcast. You're
Mhm.
saying that the study that he presented, right? That
Mhm.
Kevin Samuels presented, that all the other men in the manosphere started to use as a reference point. You saying these people are using this reference point, but they're using it in the wrong way, and you saying that study doesn't matter?
No, what I'm saying is I don't have any evidence that that's the study that they were using, but I don't care.
Yeah, because
I
they
don't.
always say and 56%
Can I
of black
get a chance
men
to
in the
land
middle
so
class,
maybe that you can
right? So we
understand?
know that that's the study that they're quoting because they
Absolutely.
cite that
If
statistic.
I could get a chance to land, then maybe you can understand what
Well,
I'm
you
saying.
never let me land. You keep interrupting when
Yeah.
I'm trying to land. No, you didn't, but go ahead.
I literally came up
No,
and
you
started
didn't.
responding. He introduced me and he started responding. I started responding, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that when the narrative itself, right? The idea itself of men being in the middle class that has nothing to do, zero, zip, zilch.
Black men being, yes, it does.
See what I'm saying?
Because
Just
you're
remember that
wrong.
it's not me cutting you off. You won't let me land at all. I don't know why you're doing that to me. I thought we were cool.
We
Right?
are cool. But when
Okay,
you
so
do it
now I'm
to other
saying let me
people, so
land
what's the
so you can
problem?
understand me
Oh,
instead of
okay.
us
And see, this
arguing
is
about a
why
specific
I have
study.
such a hard time with y'all because y'all cut people off 24/7, but now you want to sit
But I
here and act
wasn't
like let
cutting
me
you
land
off. That's what I'm
is
trying to get you to realize.
about
I
how I
wasn't.
feel about you. Cut it
You
out.
haven't let me land at all. I was never
Right.
cutting you off.
Okay. You did cut me off, but go ahead.
So what I'm trying to say is that narrative in itself, even if people want to say that Kevin Samuels introduced it, the problem is that a lot of people, myself included, we don't just go off of what one nigga say. So we go and do some research for ourselves to find out what is true and what is not true, right? And so what I'm saying is that particularly itself, this narrative about men being in the middle class, it has nothing to do with the money that their wife bring in. It's about the money that they bring in, specifically them. Here's the argument that people who are supporters of marriage, right, always use. They always argue that men who are married make more money. Not men who are married get more money from their wives. They make the argument that marriage is better for men because men who are married tend to make more money. Now, my pushback on that has always been, of course, they make more money. They're responsible for more. They have a wife now. They have kids now. They have more to do. So, of course, they go and they have to try to make more money because they have more to be responsible for. But that's the point, is that those men themselves actually make more money. Now, here's where the new argument comes in at Diva, and this is where we can actually have a conversation at. What equates to middle class? Because over the last 5 years, that's what has changed. What dollar amount do you have to hit in order for you to actually be considered the middle class?
Or does it depends where you live too? How much
Probably,
it costs to live?
but that's why you still have to come up with a general number, right? Because at one point, $40,000 was considered in the middle class.
So, all right. So now the problem is this. So now with this whole middle class argument podcast, if men by themselves are only making 53,000, but households that have that are married, they are making 130,000 and 150,000 is considered middle class, then therefore majority of the men make their middle class because of the household income, which is combined with their women. And that is the argument that the study is actually saying.
Right. Again, thank you for reiterating that. You're not slick. Middle class has a beginning and an end. There's an alpha and an omega. Believe me, it doesn't start at 130,000. That's not where it starts. So where does middle class start? Until you're willing to accept that and actually,
But you have to
being disingenuous.
No, but you have to give us that information. Say, hey, this is what I'm representing. So I'm saying that middle class start at 80,000, and I'm saying that majority of the men. But if you're not giving us that example to substantiate your argument, then I'm confused about it.
Well, I'm not trying, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily trying to present. It's something that we could figure out together, right? But I'm saying, because whatever I present, if that's not what you want to believe, like I can go get an article right now that says the middle class starts at 45. You know what everybody gonna say? Oh, that can't be real. Ain't no way that's real because blah 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 blah. But to the point that bro just made, you have to consider other areas too. Yeah, 45 ain't shit when you live in Manhattan, New York, but it might be all that when you live in Mississippi, right? So you have to consider, is most of the country New York, California, Miami?
Yes, it is.
Most of the country, Idaho.
No,
Mississippi, Alabama.
So, but this is what the problem is. Most of the country do live on the outskirts. California, Texas, New York, like they live on the outskirts. Most people do not live in the inskirts. So now we cannot say because you could go ahead and live in Oklahoma, whatever that middle town is saying that no, you can't do that. Majority,
that is how you make
especially majority of black folks, we live on the outskirts of America. We do.
Or, let me tell you where you're making a mistake at, because the middle class income itself isn't based on the individuals. It's based on the municipalities. It's not based on the individuals.
Well, so the first issue would be that a dollar amount, like we're talking about being middle income, not really middle class. So that's the first issue, right? So if we're talking about income, that's not what being middle class is. Being middle class is about assets, and how long you can sustain in the absence of a paycheck, right? And so, so the issue of middle class is often, like you said, you can pull up several different definitions. They're going to operationalize it, different in different studies. Just like in the two studies, like you mentioned one study where they base it on the men's income. Yeah. And so in other studies, they're looking at household income, which is going to tell us something different. And that's how we know that the women are driving that middle class, or what they call, what is actually middle income, existence.
But do you understand that you're making a household argument, which we don't even have the numbers for? Our numbers don't even represent fairly for the household argument, because it's only.
Look, I'm not sure what happened, but okay. So
I'm thinking.
Okay. So
I don't like lying.
So,
I don't like pulling shit out my ass. So I'm trying to think.
So I pulled up. So Robin M. She provided a study, and it says, okay, more than 1 in 2 black men, which is 57%, have made it into the middle class or higher as adults today, up from 38% in 1960. And then another part of it says about 70% of married black men are in the middle class, compared to 20% of never married black men and 44% of divorced black men. So that shows it is a huge difference between married black men being 70% of them are in the middle class versus 57%.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Do you hear what the study said? The study didn't say that black households were in the middle class. The story said black men. So they're specifically talking about the money that the black men earn.
No, they aren't. You didn't even read the study.
Okay, so that's fine. So even we was to go with your premise that that's what it means, right? That black
that's
men,
not what it means.
Regardless of the fact, majority of the black men, they do not make it to the middle class unless they are with a woman, regardless.
Yes,
whether you want to use the household income versus that they all of a sudden they get this sense of manhood and pride and they got to go ahead and make more money, even though we know for a fact that majority of black men are not treating a woman as housewives. Majority of black women working with their husbands, so that's why we know it is a household. But even we go with the premise, regardless, they need a woman 70% so they can get into the middle class at least.
Right. So
okay,
this is so fucking silly. Why are you doing this?
You
went to New York. No, you are from New York. I will not allow you to dumb yourself down. Shake. These men are old. 20-year-olds tend not to earn money in the middle class.
Okay.
That's usually not how that works. So, of course, when you're talking about men who are in their 30s and 40s, the likelihood is they might be married or divorced. Yes. So
that's not true, because only 33% of black men are married. So the likelihood is that they wouldn't be married.
No, the likelihood. See what I'm saying? Now she's quoting the statistic of the percentage of men that are currently married.
Right.
Which doesn't include the men who are divorced.
Right, but less than half of black men have ever been married. And so what are we talking about?
Thank you.
Right. And that's why it's
providing
so
me evidence
that 70% of the married ones were middle class,
right.
Whereas 20% of the single ones were not.
Checkmate.
Okay, that's the checkmate.
Yes, thank you. That's how you notice. That's exactly how that you know that the data itself is telling you about what the married men earn and not what their wives earn.
It's not. You didn't even read the study. They
I
literally
don't need to read the study. I heard what you
do.
just said.
No. If they sit there and they operationalize it and say, we're basing middle class status on household income.
They're not.
That's what they said, you fucking idiot.
You talking about your study. I'm talking about the world. No one gives a fuck about that one study.
Okay, so
the world.
Most income statistics are talking about household income.
Yes, you do realize that they have statistics based on income for the individual. You realize
I'm aware
that, right?
of that. I literally said most
so that's what I'm talking about.
They're still using household.
Who cares? What is here? It is right here.
Your fucking $48,000. Is that middle class to you? Who gives a fuck? You can't buy anything with the shit. No way.
What?
And so my point stands. These broke ass niggas.
What dollar amount?
Be very careful before you hit your wagons to they broke asses.
What?
That's the point. That's the point.
I hate the way she say broke asses. That shit is insulting. But
ultimately the point.
Because you say that shit with so much emphasis.
Yeah,
like you
because
could be talking regular, you like, you know, broke asses. You got to stop doing that. But the point is this.
Okay, so all right, so would it be? I just asked AI, right? So AI
no, it
said,
depends. We're not playing that game.
I got you.
Jake, it's $50,000.
I got you. So so this way we could just move. Just so we could move your argument, right?
According to what?
It typically falls within a range of 50 to 150,000 annually.
What's the source for that?
That is not
AI,
true.
AI overview.
Oh, okay. The AI.
Yeah, just a quick, just so we could just have some kind of baseline.
What was it? 50 to 150?
Yeah, a big, huge margin.
But that 50 to 150, I don't think that's true. But
yeah, I think middle class actually goes way beyond 150.
I wouldn't say it goes way beyond, because then you're getting into upper. I think once you get past 150, you're getting into upper middle class.
Oh, that's still middle class.
Yeah, but it's like it's a little bit. I would say this. I would have just assumed that once you get into upper, it's less likely that you are a paycheck away from devastation.
And
right?
then I got another study that says, with the AI thing is 56 to 169.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I can give you one right now that says 56 to 169. I can give you one that says 52 to 98. It's a bunch of them.
But ain't black men at like 48,000. So y'all ain't even reaching that. So okay, now what?
No, that's actually y'all median income, 48,000.
So what is the black? Well, so
okay, so y'all's is 50, 49.99. Come on, cut it out.
Or we could just say what it says, which is 52. We could leave it at that.
Oh, okay, 52.
So, but this is the point, right? When you say that 51% of black men are in the middle class. right? This is my point, that they don't have nothing to do with what their woman is earning. It's just about what they're earning. But to that point, yes, if you're married, you tend to earn more because you have more responsibilities. When you're not married, you don't have kids, guess what? You will have a fucking studio apartment with
But here's the
sofa
problem with
and
your
a
argument,
TV.
podcast. Here's the problem with your argument. So the middle median income for black men is 51,000 right now.
And what? Because if you're gonna round down, I'm gonna round up.
No, I just did that's what the AI overview says. It says 51,000, right?
Well, I
if
got
you want to go to 50,
I think I'm gonna trust the Bureau of Labor Statistics more than them.
And what it say?
So Bureau of Labor Statistics says that the black man is at median weekly earnings is 987, right? And if you multiply 987 by 52, you get 51,324.
Okay, so
51.5.
Okay, so that was crazy.
Hey, listen, if you gonna goddamn it, go down, I'm gonna go up, baby.
Fine. So, but okay, so
you gonna give us our $500.
All right, so
51.5.
So that would go to prove that that the black men are not in 50% of black men are not in the middle class.
Yeah,
they are below.
They are
below because if we was to average it out, we had 50,000, we had 56,000, and so if we was to really put that and we go right down in the middle of that range of 50 to 150, we could say 75,000. We could say we could really have a conversation, say 75,000, we could say it's really middle class.
No, you can't.
That's the range of, because it's between 50 and 150, right?
Yes. So you got to include that 1% that makes 50K too. You got to include them too.
All right,
what?
Yes.
Exactly. That go my PhD diva.
Yeah. So what you saying? You say you got to include the what? The 50%.
You got to include that 1% that make 50K too. You can't just disclude them because you don't like them. Fuck out of here. They count.
I'm confused about what you're saying. So what I'm trying to say is this. So that's the median. Yes. So, but the median income is below middle class.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. And the fact that you would say that to your audience while providing them the data that says the opposite is crazy, Shake. You can't do that. If the median, if middle class is 50K, you have to leave it there.
But it's not. There. But we know it's not. It's a range.
It is.
The range is really 56,000.
No, it's not. This is what I'm saying. Listen, do you know why? I'm gonna tell you this. Okay. Do you know why some of the studies say that the middle class, they might say it goes to 100K, another one might say 150K, another one might say 169K. Do you know why it's doing that? Because they're qualifying and calculating for specific areas like a New York, like a Chicago, like a LA, right? They're also qualifying for people when they have families. Right. So if you have families, if you have a wife, if you have 2-3 kids, right now, for you to be in the middle class, it's going to cost you more money to be in the middle class. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why it's qualified like that. But the starting point is 50K. You don't get to change that or take that away.
No, because it's not 50K. It's a range between 50. Okay, regardless.
What they basically say is,
regardless of yourself, even if you want me to give you that, I don't care what you want to take as your argument. I really don't care. If you want to take that as your argument, you want to go to the lowest denominator that we found, which was 50,000. You saying so now? What you're saying that 50% of black men are living above the middle class? That's what you want to that's your argument?
No, I would argue 49% are living above the median income.
Okay, so we got so fine. We got 49% of them living at middle class. You just said above. The entry level of middle class and above, right?
Then that's 51%. See, I'm trying to be mathematically honest because I don't know how else to do it.
Okay, that's fine. I don't know why we arguing over 2%. All right,
so it matters.
Okay, so if it matters, I'm going to go ahead and follow your leads, right? So now 51% of black men are making the bare entry level to middle class and above, correct?
Absolutely.
All right, 51%. However, when they are married, they are at 70%. So therefore, for them to be successful, they need to be attached to a woman.
So you're an asshole. I don't know why you keep doing this. Talk about if they need to be successful. No, that's not the point. The point is this: if you live where I live at right now in Louisville, Kentucky, and you're a single person and you make 50K, you balling. You get money. You're doing it. Yeah, you are.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are. As long as you don't go live somewhere where your rent is $2,000, you are all right, son.
No, so that is a lie. You are not balling. You cannot all of a sudden afford $190,000 car because you are making $50,000.
What makes you think that's balling?
So what is okay? So now the
balling is I go to the lot and I go right now and I get a 2023 Hyundai Tucson off the lot, brand new, nigga. That's balling.
No, it's not. It is not. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not. Just because you have
that's crazy, man.
Just because you have good
New York niggas, man. No, like if some don't cost $150,000, it don't matter.
It doesn't. It literally doesn't. If we're gonna talk about balling,
it's not realistic. I'm being hyperbolic when
I'm being realistic about what. Hold on, I'm being realistic about what balling means. Balling does not mean you can pay your bills.
Yeah, and 50K means more than that.
Balling means that you have abundance of money. You got money to blow. You could go to the strip club and spend $2,000, $10,000, $13,000 at one trip, and it doesn't bother you.
No, that's hood goofy balling. Right?
No, it's not.
It's balling on different levels, Shake. We ain't got to argue about it. It's balling on different levels.
It is not balling. No, absolutely not. It is no such thing.
I got you. No, okay, cool. Okay, cool. When I say balling, I mean bumming. So let you in that one. When I say balling, it really mean bumming, right?
No, because what we're not going to do is that you're not going to try to hold it to a exact dollar amount, and then now balling just means anything.
No, balling don't mean anything. Balling means when you can go and get the things done that you need to go get done for your life without compromise. That's what balling is. When it's
it's not.
So you won't let me finish either?
No,
but the point is this, Shake, is that if I need to go and get a car right now, I can go get it. If my credit is 750 or better, I wouldn't give a shit if I only had $2,000 in the bank. Nigga, I'm winning.
No, you're not.
Talking about?
Okay, so no, you're not. So this idea that if you have a 800 credit score, but you are not creating any money, you are not earning money, means that you are balling is a lie.
Who said anything about not earning money? We already know they're making $50,000 a year.
It's not enough. So what I'm saying is this. So it doesn't matter if you are only making $50,000. Not only if you are making $50,000 a year. And you have an 800 credit score. Yes, that is cool. However, you still you are not qualified to get certain houses. You cannot go ahead and get a $500,000 house.
Can you get the car? Can you get the house that you qualify for without compromise?
Yes.
Checkmate, nigga.
The one that you qualify. But it's a bad point. And the reason why it's a bad point is because anybody, you can say that with any human being, that's what they qualify for. If you making $34,000, you could go somewhere and you could be qualified for a house. Doesn't mean that they are balling.
No, sir. Listen,
okay,
you and I both work, Shake. We both make 50K, but your credit score is 560 and mine is 750. Compared to what you can go do, I'm balling, nigga.
No,
it's a fact. My interest rate gonna be better. My payments gonna be better. I damn near probably don't have to pay no PMI. My whole situation is gonna be better than yours.
That is fine. That is better than whoever.
So that's what I mean when I say
What I'm saying is this: you cannot. Now we was holding down to specific things of what middle class is, and now we are saying that balling is according to the individual. We are not going to do that. That's not possible. That you're gonna do that in one conversation,
bro. What the fuck did you just say?
We are not gonna pinpoint what middle class is by saying 51,000, say 51% or such and such, and then now balling could be towards the individual. No.
Yes, if I'm just saying,
balling gonna have to have. What I'm saying is this: ball is going to have a certain benchmark as well.
I can see you got it. I can see you got it. Now, how about this? You still was wrong because an individual with no wife and no kids and no vices. He ain't no dope fiend. He don't need red bottoms and motherfucking Gucci purses and shit. An individual who has a normal ass life making 50 fucking K when none of that baggage, absolutely will be living okay. Absolutely.
Okay.
Here, Mississippi, Alabama, different places like that.
Right, so you don't have to keep what I'm saying. That's not the argument. And we could concede to that. Hey, yeah, you can have a great normal life, whatever that normal is for you individually.
Right.
Nobody's arguing that.
Right. But I'm saying that's what to me, essentially, that's what makes them. When you say, because you tried to say that in order for them to find success, and my argument was no, that's not right, because to me, that is also success. But it's just success when you by yourself. If I'm by myself, 50K is enough. If I got a wife and kids, 50K ain't enough. Right? But you know what? Don't you know what's the old girl name? Damn, don't you know Family Values? Her husband, right? I'm blanking on his name right now. My memory getting bad. But like her husband, he's in the military. And like he told me, it's a bunch of guys in the military supporting their families on 40K. Now they do get benefits and stuff, right? They get benefits and stuff. But even if you add in all of those benefits, you probably still only getting them up to 60K. And they are supporting their family.
I'm not sure.
How are they doing it?
I'm not sure what your argument anymore. Go ahead, Diva.
My argument was that you can't say that the men only find success when they're married.
A lot of black men have.
Go ahead. My bad. I wasn't on screen, y'all. I apologize.
What?
I wasn't on screen. I didn't see what was happening. My bad.
You got it, Diva?
Yeah, Robin M. A lot of black men have active warrants for failure to pay child support. So deduct that from the 51K.
She ain't shit. She ain't shit at all.
So what I'm saying is that I think that the problem is, podcast, you are making a different argument than what the stats is actually saying.
No, you're just not keeping up on purpose because you're trying to.
It's not
people. You said that men only find success when they get married, and I'm saying you can't define that as success.
We absolutely can. So the reason why we can is because if we was to talk to those men that's making under and they families living below the poverty line, they would not consider themselves successful just because they are making it through.
Checkmate.
What are you saying? Okay, what are you saying? Thank you about?
Because you just said their families, and that's the point. What I'm saying is you're defining success as making more money, right? But they won't need more money if they don't have the families. If they don't have the wife, if they don't have the children, then they don't need more money.
Okay, but that's fine. What the problem is, that's not the argument that we have. And if you are individually okay with living in a goddamn shed and you and your family grow up and y'all be okay, and that's what you consider success, that's an individual level, and that is fine. But however, we live in a society, and society says what is a level of success, whether you want to agree with it or not, and you want to turn the level of success within our American society individual, you are wrong for doing that, because we absolutely have a difference between what is successful on yourself and what is successful in life. And if you are 50% or lower, you are not successful.
Imagine a man saying this right now, and you're saying it about men, right? Now I want to see you tell women that they aren't successful unless they have husbands.
Okay, so now
take it in
again. Well, I don't understand why we just cannot stick to one. We can have that conversation as well, and you can present whatever information you would like to for that information.
Wait, I've already conceded to the point that you making.
So when I prove, or when I get to a point where you can't argue it, you cannot now just move it on to women and say, let me see you do it to women. That's insane.
You're arguing a point that is moot because I've already conceded to it. When you have a woman and kids, absolutely 50K ain't gonna be enough. That's not gonna be successful. I've already conceded to that. But so now if you concede to that, you also got to concede that black men
because this is what we started the conversation about, is that they are not successful unless they attach to a woman.
Checkmate. That's my point. Thank you. Thank you for saying it again. I don't have to worry about your dick suckers. I know the smart people in the chat just heard you say it again. That you're trying to define what black men do as success, only what they do in a relationship with a woman. And that's wrong. Nobody would never say that to a woman, that whatever she accomplished on her own wasn't success because it wasn't a woman involved. It wasn't a man.
No, again, so this is okay. So
even if that was just 50K,
this is what you are missing. This is what you are missing. So if a woman is in the middle class or higher by herself without a man, I would say she is successful.
Even if she's only making 50K? Checkmate.
What are you saying? Checkmate. Okay.
Yes or no? If she's making 50K, is she in the
But that's not again. This is so crazy to me. This is exactly what happens when they say, so if you take away the vagina, you take away the compatibility, what do you get? I'm telling you what I just said, right? She's in the hot. This is crazy to me.
Yes or no? If she makes 50K, is she successful? It's a yes or no answer. If she makes 50K by herself, is she successful? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. Thank you for being consistent. I appreciate the consistency, even though I disagree with you.
Okay, so what I'm saying is this. So now that we got past your yes or no question, I'm saying that it is women that is doing well above, and they are in the middle class by themselves.
Absolutely.
So what the fuck is your argument?
That you trying to define success as maybe 70 or 80. I'm not sure which one you're going to. I don't, because you can be successful alone.
No, again. Okay, so let me jump in right there, because so the reason why we having a conversation, we see it is men that are spiritually married and they are dependent on a woman to give them $700 a month. So this way it turns to help them with their business. They are looking for women to give them something so they could build up their business. It is not the other way around. So therefore, what I'm trying to, what PhD is trying to explain is that majority of these men, they cannot be in the success of society. What society looks at as successful, they have to be attached to a woman is the problem. But women, for what we see, they do not need to be attached to a man to be successful or what society is saying is success. It's the other way around.
And you agree with that?
According to my chat alone, we could tell that the women are doing better than the men. Show me where the men have sent $1 today to argue their point of view.
My question was, do you agree?
Do we not have men right now that has a loan that needs to be paid back to their woman right now, that we know that we can speak to right now? That is a part of our so-called community, and we ask him, how much do you owe your woman? He would say, I owe her over $50,000 right now. His woman. Do we see somebody get married and completely upgraded where he lived at? Soon as he got married to a woman. We see it right fucking now. She had to leave his ass. Because when she went over there, upgraded him, and then when she left, he downgraded. It's not a coinky dink. So this whole idea that
I don't know why you be doing this shit, bro.
Because it's just evident that we can see it.
It's not, bro. Like, and I be wishing you wouldn't do this shit, bro. Because it, like, you should, you got kids. You trying to raise them to be smart. You shouldn't be pushing out this narrative of creating of bullshit narratives, bro. Like that, is you're not. What you're doing is you're trying to act like there's correlation there, and it isn't. Right. The fact of the matter is that if I don't have a woman, I don't need as much shit. If I don't have kids, I don't need as much shit. I don't have to work as much. So what is successful for me by myself won't be the same thing that is successful for me when I'm responsible for a family. But the numbers are there. Not to mention the fact that there's 2 million more black women than there are black men. 2 million. We are essentially competing with them in the marketplace.
What do you mean?
So, and if we live in an egalitarian society, then it would make sense that they would be making just as much money as we are making, and even in some cases, right? Maybe we were exaggerating, but I won't pretend like it's only 4 cases. But in some cases, they're absolutely going to be providing finances for their man's businesses and benefits, right? To help him elevate to get to the point where she needs him to be in order to be the provider that he needs to be for them and their entire family. That makes absolute sense when we live in an egalitarian society.
So, Beans, can I ask you a question, my brother?
Yeah, man.
Don't sound so defeated.
Because
Right.
Oh, because people don't ever acknowledge
Nightmare.
anything first. That's how you know that they just want to argue, when they don't acknowledge the point that you actually made first. But go ahead.
No, I'm acknowledging the point, right? You're saying that it is possible for you to live in your standard of success at 50,000, right?
No, that's not what I just said. What I just said is that it makes absolute sense if there's 2 million more black women. We're competing with them in the marketplace, in the working marketplace, and that we live in an egalitarian society where they're going to make just as much money as we make. It makes absolute
Or
sense
more.
that there would be more women providing money to their men in order to elevate them, right? So that they can become the providers that we want men to be. That makes sense. It's logical.
No, it's not, because the logic that is always pushed is that men are somehow more suited for providing, right? They're better suited for providing. And so that's why they need to have that role, right? Their superior logic gonna take them into STEM fields that are gonna typically pay more than the humanities and social science degrees that the women like to go and get, right? And so
No.
right? Yes.
PhD.
So how would they need those women to then give them money?
You see
right?
what I'm saying?
Because those men are supposed to be more logical, more capable, right? That's why they took up the mantle of providing.
What does any of that have to do with income?
But wasn't that just an Omar talking point?
Oh, we
What that
know
has to do
it's a red
is
pill talking point, but we know
right.
it's a red pill talking point. But the question is this: what does that have to do with income? It's some
Right.
people,
And so
it's
what
some people out here that's smarter than you that don't make as much money as you do.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't have anything to do with income. Is what we're talking about when we're talking about the thing that
No.
makes
So if men have said all these things,
who gives
right?
a fuck
Then
about these
there's
lying ass red
no,
pill
because
niggas?
if
Fuck
you're
'em.
logical, then you should be able to get the money to invest in your own self, right?
No, that's not how that works.
Yes, it is
If
how
that's
that
the case,
works.
we wouldn't
When
have
I
banks.
decided to start my shit on the side, I came up with the money. I didn't need no nigga to come up and subsidize what the fuck I had going on.
Really? How did you come up with the money?
I worked for it.
Really? So you didn't take out loans?
No, I worked for it, baby.
You never took out a loan ever?
A loan ever? That's not for my side hustle. I'll say that. Right? I got a car loan, but that ain't got nothing to do with my side hustle.
I'm just saying, people go and get loans. Loans you're getting from banks who are using other people's money.
But I didn't need it. And so, okay, so then those men need to go to a bank and get a loan.
And get a loan.
They don't need to be relying on a woman to subsidize their business or help them get.
And
ladies,
yet men do it
you'll
too.
be better served, ladies, investing that time and effort into your own shit.
Right. So you would also agree then that these women who get men from the drug dealers to start their beauty salons, they shouldn't do that either, correct?
Nah, where I said that at?
Exactly.
Where I said that at?
Thank you. So you had a question, Brownsville.
I didn't say anything about drug dealers. I would tell a woman not to date a drug dealer. So her getting money to start a business from a drug dealer is like irrelevant. That's not anything.
I don't even want to paint the narrative that every woman who starts a hair salon is getting it from drug dealers, but I'm just saying, when you in the hood, people do hood shit. It is what it is, right? I'm just saying everybody gets money from everybody. It's not and we live in an egalitarian society. So what sense does it make to say, yes, women should be able to work the same jobs as men and make the same amount of money as men, but their money should never be used in the same way a man's money would be used, including investing in their
So Beans, so you brought up the egalitarian society. We've had this conversation before, right? And you also brought up what are we teaching and instilling in our children, right? So I want to concede to your point that yes, what I'm teaching both my son and my daughter is to work towards finding a career, which I encouraged them to both do it before they entered in high school. And then now you have expectations that you must uphold in order to attain that career path, right? Now, on your premise of the 50,000 that started the argument, right? So I would tell my son or my daughter, right? The $50,000 benchmark, that's a starting wage, right? An entry level position, right? So I would not tell my 19, 20, 21-year-old son, hey, okay, you got this entry level position at $50,000. I would not tell him that he's not being successful. He is, right? However, if he was 35 or 45, right? And he's still at that entry level position of $50,000, then something went terribly wrong with his pursuit of a career path, because we understand that the cost of living is continuing to rise, right? So if you started off at that entry level position, then in 10 years, 15 years, you should have easily surpassed that. So do you think that it is normal, right, for a man who is 40, 45 years old, that he's still at that entry level wage, and now he's dependent upon a woman to bless him with a certain amount of money so that he could potentially elevate his lifestyle?
So when you ask me, is it normal? The answer to that is yes. When you ask me, is that average? The answer to that is no, right? And so here's the thing about money. I don't know why black people
well, first, can you substantiate why that is deemed normal?
Yes, because not everybody is a truck driver. Not everybody is an accountant. Not everybody is whatever the hell it is that you do, or whatever the hell it is that PhD would do. Not everybody has those jobs. Most people have entry-level jobs and stay on those jobs for an entire 10, 15, 20, 30-year career, right? Most people tend to do that specifically after they may bounce around a little bit in their teens and their early 20s, and they find a spot and then they end up being there and they take the advancements that come along with that, right? Like my uncle was at Delta Airlines for like 23 years. Right. So that's what most people tend to do. And then they was either going to take a pay cut or an early retirement. Guess what he did? He took the early retirement, man. That's a story for a lot of people. So,
but will you concede? But Beans.
But wait. You have to understand something, though. That's one thing. Let me get to this point. Because people treat money as if we control it. Y'all do realize you niggas don't control money. Nobody on this panel right now is making money more than what is willing to be paid for the position that they have. You don't have a position that pays 70K and somehow you make 150K. They paying you 150K because you so damn special. That's not how it works. You make the money that is qualified for your particular position, right? 50K. If your son is 21 making 50K, that nigga's a magician. Okay, he did something really well. Shout out to him. I don't know what the hell. Maybe he in tech or something, because $50,000 is not median income for a 21-year-old. It's median income for adults. The median income applies to the median age, which is 30.
Right, so, but you're talking about a job, right? And I'm talking about a career,
because
right? So even with your So even with your point about the Delta Airlines employee, right? So you're saying that your position is it would be normal for somebody to start at Delta Airlines, let's say at 45,000, but then 10, 15 years later, he's making that same 45,000 at Delta
You
Airlines.
know that's not gonna happen.
Right. So I'm asking you,
no. To answer your question, no. But what you were asking me is that is it normal for a person to be 40 years old and only making 50K or around that and need his woman's help? Yes, that's absolutely fucking normal.
And if that's the case, if that's normal, then PhD was 100% correct. You just substantiated her point that these men are broke, bewildered, and they need women in order to pull themselves up, right? Because to me, if you should be number one in this economy, right? And this cost of living that's continuing to rise, and inflation and all of these different kind of things, right? If you are a man who was unable to figure out how to stay above the median income, right? Then you have put yourself in a substandard position, right? And when you put yourself in a substandard position, now, yes, you need help. You need assistance. And what I'm saying is, to me, even though it might be normal, considered when we're talking about the average, but it should not be normal. And if it is normal, then PhD was 100% correct.
So this is why I said I'm not debating no more. Because people don't listen. The point that you just made was moot when I gave you my first answer when I said it's normal but not average. See what I'm saying? And you, because you just wanted to get here, you completely just ignored that. Like, oh shit, well, he just got me right there. I can't make this point. And you still tried to make the point that is somehow because maybe 10%, it affects 10% of niggas, or even 20% of niggas. Somehow then the narrative is that these niggas is broke and need help. Normal don't mean average. It's normal for people, it's normal for women to be barren and not be able to give birth to children. It don't make it average. Okay. It's normal for motherfuckers to be born with 6 fingers. It don't make it average.
That is not normal. All right, so podcast.
Oh my God.
Let me get this.
Yeah, you're right. If you saw somebody with 6 fingers, you would be astounded. How did that happen?
Absolutely. I think it's weird, and I don't want that little extra finger to touch me neither.
Don't do that shit, man. Don't make fun of the handicap.
The rim of your damn drink. So brush up against it.
But Beans, you're incorrect when you say it's normal, because normal is a standard. It's either usual, typical, or expected, right? And I don't think that it is expected of a man to be living in a substandard position to where now he's dependent upon his woman. And if you saying that it is expected for a black man to be in that downtrodden state, then you got to concede the PhD was point, right? If it's expected,
you keep making it that way. You keep making the argument that it's substandard. I just think I'm just not pushing back against it because it's irrelevant. But you keep making that argument. If I don't have her, here's the thing right here, and this is how I know you being disingenuous and y'all just trying to push a narrative. Because watch this. You keep saying that he need her help, but he need her help for what? Not to take care of himself, but to take care of her ass. And take care of the kids that they bring into the world. That's what he need her help for. That's the point. If you take the same money, if you take the same money and you put that man by himself, that's 4 bands a month. If your rent is under $1,000, you doing all right. Especially if you're not an overweight, overeating. I need to smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, do crack. I need to be in the club. I need red bottoms, right? If you don't have all of those vices, red bottoms can be nice. You can plan out your trips for the year. Your taxes will be okay, right? You can have a business that you do on the side, maybe. You could have other things going on, and you don't necessarily have to make it to 100K when you're by yourself. But you keep trying to make this argument that he need her help to take care of her.
Okay, so here's
you're arguing the point of a perfect man, right? This perfect man who doesn't have any vices. This perfect man who never made any mistakes along the way, right? He doesn't have any debt. right? But no, we understand that when a man enters the workforce at 20, 21 years old, by the time he's 45, he has all of those things. He has debt, he has vices, he has responsibilities that that exceeds the position that he entered the workforce in, right? So what I'm saying is, if it's expected for that same man, right, who entered the workforce without none of those things, but now 15 years later, he's still making that same entry level wage. Yes, he is now dependent on that woman to help him get risen up. And PhD was 100% correct. Now he needs to go to that woman and get that loan from that woman to help him elevate his life. You got to concede that point.
I don't have to concede that. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not saying you're wrong, but the fact that the reason why I'm not conceding is because you won't admit that he only needs that to help provide for her. He don't need that to take care of himself. He don't need her help for him to be able to take care of him. He needs her help to level up so that he can take care of her.
Oh my
I
God!
don't got you on these.
Not about the responsibility.
Hold on. So podcast. What's the average debt in America?
Oh shit, that I don't know.
It's 100,000. Over 100,000.
You said the average debt?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't believe you. Especially not for men, and especially not for black men, because most black men don't even go to college, which is probably where most people debt is at. It's credit card and student loan debt.
And auto loans.
Oh yeah, and auto loans. Well, you can't say homes because we always say about how black men don't buy homes, right?
That's true.
So
there you go.
Okay, it doesn't matter what you want to believe. That's the stat.
Yes, but that stat is for everybody's sake. And we talking about black people. Stop fucking being shake. All right, don't worry about it.
So again,
no, don't worry about it. I know what to do about this shit. I don't got to take
again. So I do it specifically for black men, so this way it make you feel a little bit better.
Hello.
This is crazy.
Yes, Delta Airlines. Yeah, I'm trying to book a flight to New York. Yeah,
another wolf ticket.
You know
Not wolf ticket.
On Friday a wolf ticket.
I need a parachute, some goggles, and a 9mm. I ain't got to put up with
PhD, but wasn't a Friday a wolf ticket last Friday? I don't know. You know. I don't know.
Did they take wolf ticket? I know he said with her wolf pussy.
Stop cussing, PhD.
I know it was supposed to be a debate that didn't happen. I don't know.
But
my night vision goggles, I'm about to handle this shit.
Yeah, I just don't like the whole, invest thing, because you hear it frequently enough. And I just think that men should, if all that y'all say y'all cracked up to be, you should be able to do it on your own. Plenty of people do it on their own.
See, I'll be having to remind myself that this is just what you do. I cannot wait. I'm gonna make it my mission to get to a point where I'm so successful. I'm gonna offer you some kind of position or something. You're gonna show up. It's gonna be a bunch of white people, and we're gonna see if you play this same silly ass game. Because I know you ain't gonna do it. I know you ain't gonna do it. One thing I know, I got a mama that's educated, got all them goddamn degrees and shit. When y'all get around y'all peers, y'all tune that shit right the fuck on up. You ain't gonna see saying this silly shit. You know damn well that shit is not correlation or causation. You know it.
Okay, so now we just go by student loan. The average black man is carrying about 50,000 in debt.
Damn, really?
That's so funny because my article says 35,997.
Okay,
so 35 niggas just be lying, bro, for no reason.
What you mean we lie? So which ones are mine or yours?
Mine, because mine is from AI.
Yeah, no. So you didn't finish reading it. It says
I'm just
and it says the number is increasing to 49.
No, it says 49.
According to available data,
graduate loans. So let's ask PhD.
And then keep reading.
What percentage of black graduate degrees go to black men?
Keep reading it. What does it say after? Please. Keep reading. All right, so
I'm not doing that. Fuck you. I see what it say.
Okay, all right.
I'm not reading that shit.
All right, so neither. So actually, me and him both was reading the same. Me and him both was reading the same thing. So he just stopped at the first number he's seen.
Do you think that's true?
It doesn't matter if it's true or not, but this is just what the information that we got, and
fuck that. Let me read this out loud for you, since you asked me to. PH Diva, you better not. Don't you do it. You better tell the truth and shame the devil when you hear this bullshit. Black men have the highest levels of student loan debt among all racial groups. No, don't put neither. Call that bullshit out. Come on. Yell at the top of your voice like you do for every fucking thing else, goddammit. Tell these motherfuckers that shit ain't true.
It says black men generally have a high average student loan debt compared to other racial.
My Google don't say no generally. It just say
yes, it does. The average they say key points to remember.
No, no, it don't.
Anywho, regardless of the matter.
Oh, so it's all them with the student loan debt. Ladies, they are financial liability, ladies.
This shit, nope, I'm not doing this. What did you go to report?
I don't think that's true.
I'm not accepting this from y'all.
They're financial liabilities, ladies.
So regardless of the fact,
and you suborn in this damn perjury, Shake.
Hey, as we mining through it, hey, your point of view is getting worse and worse.
No, AI is just lying and lying. They listening. They listening to the conversation, making up shit as we go along.
Clearly,
thank you, AI.
Clearly, shout out to Allen Iverson. But
oh shit.
But it's just okay for we just got to use the stats for what it really is supposed to be for, and that's the truth. And we just really have a real.
Wait a minute.
You wait, Dicey, fantastic.
Wait, you know what? I think I just figured out how that might actually be true, though. I think I see why that might be true, though. That's starting to make sense. Because they basically saying that black men, when they go into college for those graduate programs. So, more black women is just doing the associates and the bachelor's degrees. You know how they say the knitting degrees and all that other shit, which is why they don't have they wouldn't have as much debt. Right, but the thing I'm telling you, I promise I looked this up already. It was more than 60% of degrees earned from black people is for black women. Mm-hmm. So you trying to tell me that in 30-something%, the debt is more than 60-something%? Make that that is crazy. So that would mean that the graduate degrees would be primarily black men.
No.
Well, then how do they incur the debt?
I'm not sure, but that's not the case.
I didn't think it was either. That's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to make this shit make sense. I don't want to start distrusting AI, but this shit ain't.
Maybe because they, they enroll, they take out the financial aid, they take out the student loans, right? But they're not really making progress. So if you look at the
for graduate programs, Diva?
The length of time
it takes to
get the degree. Black males, it typically takes longer than any other group to graduate and actually get the degree.
No, hold on, Shay. It says 35,997 for undergraduate. It says 49,416 for the graduate loans.
You're right.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying they getting all the way to that and quitting. You ain't gonna convince me of that.
Okay, no. So the graduate stuff. Okay, and so what that might reflect is that black males are more likely to get master's degrees than PhDs because PhDs are typically funded. So you're not going to have to take out student loans. It might reflect black women being more likely to get or getting more scholarships or fellowships. So it could reflect that as well. So apparently when black women are going to get these graduate degrees, there's some form of funding in place. Whereas black men just because they substandard students and subpar students that they don't give them those funding opportunities. They have to take it on the chin and sign. They gotta sign them papers.
See what I'm saying? You laughing at that like you think it's funny. But it wouldn't
That's
make any
wrong.
sense. How would I get all the way to masters and PhDs if I'm such a poor ass student? Come on, Slick. All right, don't worry about it, Slick.
Hey, look, it says I also
The
see
point
that.
that you're missing, though, right?
Mm.
When we're having this discussion, right? The overarching point is that the average 45-year-old black man who's still making the entry level wage, right, $50,000 a year, right, is more likely than not to have debt, to have responsibilities, whether it's one child, two children, etc., etc. He's not going to be this perfect guy that you are putting your position, anchoring your position on. That this guy is making 50,000 and that he's able to provide for himself because he's free from responsibilities, free from debt, and he's free from vices. We know ordinarily that's not the case for the average 45-year-old man that's making that average wage that you're talking about.
A podcast, you damn near probably made the average medium with just YouTube and Cash Apps this year.
Okay, but wait, but this is what I'm saying though.
But don't.
The problem
Like,
is that you can't
come on.
say so. You added in debt, right? Everybody has that. That's if you don't.
I don't want you to get past the part that what I just said.
Well, I have to because that's my personal business, and I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, so let's say it's a good. We got somebody that's not even in this country claims that he made 100,000 off of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, ain't no excuse, bro.
But oh my fucking god, I'm trying, bro. Like I literally got your invite to my housewarming. I'm about to rip this shit up, Shake. Stop. Okay. The fact of the matter is that not everybody can do what that man does, and you know it. And that's the point. The median income is not the median income because people ain't shit. The median income is because that's how money fucking works. Most jobs don't pay a whole bunch of fucking money. It couldn't, or else money would be irrelevant, right? If everybody made 100K, then 100K would just be what 50K is right now. It wouldn't be a whole bunch of money. We'd just be saying 100K ain't no money, right? So that's not the point. The point is what you do with the money. Now, what I will concede to Brownsville point is that no, most people ain't making the best out of their situations or their monies. Most people are not doing that. You're absolutely right. Most people spend more and incur debt, particularly credit card debt, right? Because they want to live more than what their means allow. I understand that. But what I'm saying is if I got a crib, I got a car, I got a job, I'm by myself and I'm doing my thing, but then I want to bring a woman into my life and now I need more money to help provide for that woman and the kids we're going to have, it absolutely makes sense in an egalitarian society for that woman who's earning on an equal level as me to also pitch in financially to get us there. Or else it doesn't make sense.
Don't let them go cast it, Brownsville.
She shouldn't have the burden to have to give you. She shouldn't have the burden to have to give you a loan, though, right?
Why though? Wait, why? Make that make sense. Make that make sense without sexually discriminating. Go.
You have the same opportunity.
You sound muffled, Brownsville.
Muffled,
You're muffled.
yeah.
Muffled.
Can y'all hear me now?
No, it's still muffled.
All right, let me drop down and come back.
Oh, you good? You good? Go ahead. You good?
What I'm saying is, right?
Uh-huh.
The reason why you should not have to depend on her to give you a $55,000 loan is because you had the same opportunity that she had to build some type of net worth, to build some type of discretionary savings, to have the opportunity to be living below your means, right?
Right.
And,
absolutely. Absolutely. Wait. Absolutely. I agree. Now watch this. Do you agree in the reverse? In the reverse, do you agree then that a man should also not invest in his woman? Check me.
I believe that men should not compare themselves to women.
Right, but that's not what I asked you. So don't be disingenuous to me because I'm never disingenuous to you.
we're talking about. So here's the thing. See, and that's the thing, right? So the nuances come into play, right?
Just the
So
same
is the
way.
reason
Just the
why. Hold
same
on.
way,
What I'm
B-Ville. Just the
okay,
same way.
okay. So
Just
if it's the
reverse it.
same, so all right. So let me answer your question, right? So if she's single, no children,
Mhm.
and you're single, no children, then yes, both of y'all have the same opportunity to get to that discretionary income. So she shouldn't need your 55,000 to elevate her in that same respect, right?
Okay. Wait, let me say
That's
this. I disagree. I disagree. I'm not even with my ex no more. And if I had 55,000 to give her right now, it's hers. Because I just want to see her elevate. I'm invested in her. I want to see her elevate. So the money, it don't matter because I'm a man or I'm a woman or any of that. If I want to see you elevate, if I want to see you win, if I want to see you be a better version of what you are, I will absolutely invest in you. And it has not to do with gender at all, because money isn't gender based. We live
right.
in an
But at
It
that
is
point,
though. No, it is.
at that point though, right? So basically what you're saying is you're willing to ignore the red flags. You're just doing it because of your emotional attachment to that person and not your reasoning and logic that you have, right? Because you're ignoring the fact that if both of y'all had the same opportunity to build this type of wealth, why is she in a position that she's in to where you have to invest in her? Why wasn't she able to invest in herself in the same way and manner that you invested in yourself?
Okay, so B-Ville, wait. So without trying to demonize her, the simple answer would be she just made different choices, right? She made different choices. Or watch this. Sometimes people make the same choices, but they don't get the same results. Results aren't guaranteed, right? So just because somebody probably made some decent choices, things just didn't work out for them, right? But when somebody else comes along and invests in them, or you know what I always tell people, if you're gonna teach me how to do something and you're not willing to hold my hand and walk me through it, don't teach me. I'm not one of those people you say, no, this is what you do this, you do that, do that, now go get it done, motherfucker, don't ever call me again. No. That's not how I learn. I learn by you walking me through the process, right? It becomes muscle memory for me. That's how I learn how to do. So she might have, just because she didn't have the optimal outcomes doesn't mean she just made all the most horrible choices in the world. Things probably just didn't pan out for her. But where two or more come into agreement, said the Lord is in the midst. That's what the Bible say.
What?
That's what the Bible say. That's what the Bible say.
But
We can get,
now you're conflating. You're conflating
wait.
things now.
Does that scripture not imply that we can get more done working together than we cannot? Do I need to go get some more scriptures that say the same thing, that we can get more things accomplished together than we can alone? What we weren't able
And
to
you
do.
know what's one of the things? You know, it's
get
one of the
done
things
together.
black men got to do together, rather alone, is get to the middle class. That's all. It's okay.
This nigga ain't shit.
It's okay for you to just
That's
admit
but
it.
that's
How do y'all
also
niggas get to lie on YouTube all day and keep y'all monetization?
It's okay. We got to get there together. Ain't nothing to shame about it.
But you know
I
what?
know, Deborah.
Okay, then.
That man told me buy Bitcoin when it was $400 a coin. And I did not do it.
Somebody told me about it when it was $1.
Really?
Yeah. But that's also that because, you know, Bitcoin was a part of the criminal world. So that's why people was using Bitcoin back then. So it was actually good. That's how they bought drugs and how they traffic children. That's why they wouldn't get involved in it.
Wow.
But nowadays, I think they changed the regulation for it. They changed the regulation for it. So now it's kind of actually a legit situation, but it was really for the criminal world.
Would you say that was widely known? Because I've never heard that before until right.
I think if you wasn't a criminal, you don't know.
Okay.
Not saying that I was, but
no, motherfucker, no, don't take it back now.
Certainly. Surely not
don't
you.
Take it back now, damn it.
But Beans, you can't bring the biblical text into the argument because the commitment level is different, right? So We're not talking about a couple who is married and they're investing in each other throughout their marriage. We're talking about a couple who is unmarried, right? They haven't made that or committed to that ultimate level of sacrifice, right? So what they're doing now is you're going to your boyfriend or the person that you're uh tied to emotionally in other ways, and now you'll become dependent on them, right? And what I'm saying is, without that same level of commitment, you should not have that same level of investment.
Well, let's not pretend like marriage is the end all be all as it pertains to commitment, right? Because we know it's not, especially second marriages. But the only reason why I bring in the scripture just to facilitate the point that two people can get something done better than one person can. That's a universal understanding. It's just that simple. And that
But
doesn't
not all
change
the
on
time.
the money component. That remains the same.
Right. No, but not, you can't just throw any two people together and think that they're going to come up, or have better outcomes than any particular individual person. Right.
Absolutely.
No.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
Right. And so I think part of the issue is that a lot of Black men, it seemed like y'all need a lot of help, right? And so
to do what though? And be honest, that's what I'm saying. A lot of help to do what? Do we need a lot of help to provide for you? Yes.
No, but you shouldn't, right?
We should. That's what I'm saying.
Shouldn't. And so it comes to a point where it's like, where do I get the most returns? So yeah, I can invest in this man and work, and over time we get to wherever. But could I have just taken the resources and the time and energy I invested into the man and invested it into myself and had a bigger return, right? So one of the things that I've had men frequently tell me is like, oh, well, if you, get with a man, that's an additional, $50,000 that you don't have. And so, like, for a woman like me, I look at it like, okay, well, if I want an additional $50,000 in a year, what am I going to do? Right. I can go and buy another property. I can go and, invest in stocks, so there are different avenues, and it's probably going to be more advantageous, right? For me to invest that into getting that additional 50K on my own than to, have this man and try to toil with him, right? Because his 50K still got to be split between the two of us. I can just have my own 50K, right? And so even in dating men, that's what I found. So they'll ask, oh, well, let's partner with this. And then I have to think to myself, okay, would it be more beneficial to me to partner with him, or what if I do it all on my own and then I get 100% of the profit, right? And so
I had a conversation last night that I really enjoyed. And one of the things that came up in that conversation was people being able to just admit that they aren't relationship material. Mm-hmm. Right? Not everybody is. Some people work better alone. Right? It's just the truth. That's why some people can go and do truck driving and be on the road all the time and get to the bag and everything else, because they enjoy being by themselves. Some people can't do it. They need the comfort of another person more so than they even need their money. And so sometimes I think people just have to get to that point, right? Like, because I always said, if I won the lottery, $100 million, let's say I was still with my ex, I would have left her because I knew I was going to start sleeping with Puerto Rican women. But
wow.
But I absolutely would have set her up with a cool million, right? I would have set it up where I was still her provider so that she needed me, of course, because I'm a man. But I definitely would have set it up where she had access to money and, do whatever you want to do. But The fact of the matter is, the reason why is because I know with that kind of money, I'm not going to be a man that's conducive for a monogamous relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm self-aware enough to know that. So why would I try to pretend now I'm finna start cheating on you, lying to you, doing all this other goofy ass shit? Fuck no. I'm gonna make sure you straight take care of you, and I'm gonna go do me. Sometimes people just have to be self-aware enough to say that I ain't relationship material. I can get with this dude and he can come, and yes, he can add to me and we can build together, but I don't necessarily want to put up with shit. I don't want to have to listen to him. I don't want no motherfucker thinking they can control me. You know, all those other things that come along with being in the dynamic of a relationship. People don't necessarily want to deal with that shit. You know what I'm realizing? I'm gonna be honest with you. I never thought I would say this. I said this too last night, Shake. I always was a person. I spent the first 46 years of my life being afraid to live alone. And now that I'm alone, and now I'm thinking about moving back to the crib, I get to go get me a new space, all this other shit. And now it's like, I ain't gonna put everybody's business out there, but like my son and my brother might need to come live with me. And I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I will be completely honest with you. I was telling my mama last night, like, man, I don't even like this shit. I want to tell her ass no. You know what I'm saying? Stay y'all ass where y'all at. But it's hard out here for people. And I'm a man. So if I could do something, then I'm gonna do it. But I'm okay with being alone. And now I don't shame people who are okay, like PhD was saying, with being alone and figuring out how to get it done on my own to where I only have to deal with people when I feel like tolerating them. Man, all power to
I didn't hear PhD represent that argument.
She literally just said that.
Well, hold on. Let me finish my point though. What she was saying is, if that's all the man can contribute, then I'm better off doing it on my own, right? And where we hear the ladies, they're always telling us, hey, I want a man that's equally yoked, right? The lady that had a conversation with Dr. Umar, she said, I want a man that's equally yoked. I want a man that shares my values. I want a man that shares my goals and aspirations and can at least meet me at my level, right? And what Dr. Umar told her is she can't expect that. She needs to lower her standards and lower her expectations that she's willing to get from a man, right? And I think that's unfair. I think that we should not be telling our ladies to do that. I believe we should be encouraging our ladies that, yes, you can potentially find somebody on your level, and you should not have to lower your standards and expectations in order to settle with somebody who's not on your level.
I don't know whether to blame this on religion or if you just, a Neanderthal. Mm-hmm. But it's like you just refusing to step into reality, B-Ville. You can't. We talked about the median income earlier. This gonna go over people's heads, but I'm used to that. If the black man's median income is $51,000 and the black woman's median income is 48, mm-hmm. Not 40, not 33, 48. That's a $3,000 difference over a year. Mm-hmm. Not to mention the fact that it's 2 million more of them. Mm-hmm. 2 million, not 200, not 2,000. 2 million more of them. Nobody is saying you need to lower your desires and your expectations because you're ugly, because you're a piece of shit. People are saying be fucking realistic, woman. You wanted equality. You wanted to be able to make money like a man makes money. So now that you are making money like a man makes money, if every single one of y'all minimizes your acceptability chart to men who make more money than you, then all you motherfuckers gonna be single. It's not realistic.
Let me also welcome into the show, Aaron. Good day, sir. How you feeling?
But is it better to be single than with a poor man or a man who just has less?
No, it's not better to be single with a poor man when you're a poor ass woman. It's not. It's not better to be single with a man who has single than with a man who has less when you're a motherfucker that has less. Now reverse that. You have more. You know what? It's still not better because you wanted equality. PhD, but you understand this because you smart. Equality, you don't get to pick and choose where it begins and ends. It's either equal or it's not, right? 0 is equal to 0. You can't put a 0.1 on the end and still say that it's equal. It's not, right?
Okay.
So therefore, you have a choice. You're either going to accept the fact that you asked for the equality, which means now your earning capabilities are equal to a man. So therefore, if you're minimizing what a man can contribute based on the amount of money that he makes, you're a dumbass. Because you the one who wanted to be able to make the same amount of money as a man. You're literally in effect asking them to compete with you and do better than you at the same time.
Yep.
All right.
How the
So,
fuck does that make sense?
okay, welcome into the show. Aaron, good day, sir. What's your thoughts?
Aaron.
I'm doing well. How we feeling?
We're doing good.
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
So I just had a couple of questions just so I understand the direction of the conversation. Are we talking about within the constraints of marriage, or is this, the idea of a man and a woman getting together and sharing resources under one household, both of their incomes being responsible for propping up one household? Is that within the constraints of marriage?
I don't think so. I think it's either way.
Yeah. It
No, we
sounded
shacking
like
up.
it.
We shacking up.
Right. So
Living in sin.
isn't there a fundamental discrepancy there before we even get into analyzing the income of the two parties? Just the fact that we're doing this without matrimony, isn't that?
I'm not. Listen. No.
I'm
To
not a
me, no.
Christian.
Oh no. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'll accept that. So, well, then what would be the purpose of getting together under one household, sharing incomes without marriage? Like, what? I'm just trying to understand
Because
the
we
end
want to
game.
have a life together. We want to build. We
Oh,
want to spend our lives together.
Right.
right. And so when you say a life together, you're talking about the whole life till the end.
Life together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay,
Till
that's
we
what you
get
said.
tired.
Right. Oh, that's different. But I got you. That's different. But I'll accept that too. All right. I mean, it just seems like that without. It just seems like there's no commitment on the table. Yet we're already jumping to analyzing like incomes and stuff.
Well, you
I mean,
should
is it?
talk about those things and analyze those things before you have that commitment, right? You want to make sure this is a situation that you actually want to be
Oh,
going into.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
Right. So I don't see it as being problematic. It's not like it would be a premature thing that we're talking about finances and those type of issues before we're deciding to commit or or get married or whatever.
Sure. Great word, premature. I do believe it's a necessary conversation for all the reasons that you just outlined. But I do think it's premature, and I think what would be a conversation that we had ahead of that is what value each other holds that is more lasting than money. Because what happens if and when the unthinkable happens and your shit's turned topsy turvy, right? Like, I think having an understanding of what each other's strengths and weaknesses are and what they're willing to do in the face of, abject adversity, where there are no longer two incomes to analyze. Like, if I, become paraplegic and I come off the oil rig, I've been in the oil rig all my life. I can't go into law or accounting. I'm done.
Yeah, so we're gonna get you home, get you stabilized, your health together, patch up your little, bloody thighs, and then we're going to focus on your workman's comp claim so we can get our big payday, right? Who we gotta sue.
Right.
Right. So we got a plan.
Well, but
And you know what my plan is, Diva?
Your money and you, Stumpy. We got a plan.
Wait.
What's that?
But the
Yeah, yeah.
thing is this though, right? Because you got to think about it.
Well, since they don't want to contribute,
Oh, it's like what happened?
so the wife she baked this bread, this rye bread is delicious.
Fold it up again.
I mean
let us
sourdough. I mean sourdough bread. It's
see. Let
sourdough.
us see again.
I apologize.
All right,
That's-
sourdough. How long
that's
does it take to make, Anya, the sourdough?
Altogether, 24 hours.
24 hours.
Okay.
She be cooking this bread for 24 hours. All I asked was for the like button, share button. Why is that
How
so
many likes we got?
We don't even got 90.
Really?
Really. We don't even have 90 likes. With over 170 people, we had 200 in the building today, and we couldn't get to 100 likes. That is crazy. You could send 99 cents. You can hit the like. You get the share. That's all we be asking for. And for whatever reason, that is a very difficult thing to do. LA Project is live, so you know what? Y'all could go over there and hang out with her for free. But I'm not with it. So we're gonna redirect y'all to because clearly maybe they just not enjoying the conversation of Diva. I don't know. Maybe I'm not helping them get through the day. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know what it is. But regardless of the fact, I'm not gonna stress nobody out anymore. If you don't want to support the show by hitting the like, the share, the notification bell, and 99 cents, it is what the fuck it is. And so we're gonna send everybody to LA Project. I know she got about like 200 subs, so let's all give her some love. Show us some love. I'm pretty sure she's not expecting anybody to because she got about like 9 people over there. Let's go show us some love and say we came from over here to go over there just to show you a little bit of love. Any final words, Diva?
Bye, y'all.
Shit.